Do you feel fulfilled in love? The show will begin in 4 minutes. Are you ready? When was the last time you felt betrayed? When was the last time you felt loved? The show will begin in 3 minutes. Are you ready? What did it feel like to be in love? What is the most painful part of being in love? The show will begin in 2 minutes. Are you ready? Are you ready to be transformed? Are you ready to make a change? The show will begin in 1 minute. I hope you're ready. The show will begin in exactly 30 seconds. Get ready. What if I told you you can get any guy you wanted to fall in love with you? And what if I also told you you don't even need to say a single word in order to do that? If that sounds impossible, don't worry. On today's show, we're going to be discussing how to plant seeds so that men fall in love with you. That way, you can be every man's dream woman and nobody will even know your dirty little secret. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please say here present so that I know you're here present and actively participating. Welcome to the show, all you beautiful souls. How are you guys doing? Who we got in the chat up in here today? I see we got Sharice, one of our moderators, and SH is here, one of our moderators. We got Tiffany, we got K-Mac, we got Amber, we got Zyra. You know, I see Scotty is here as well. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm going to make Scotty a moderator tomorrow, so I got to remember to do that, okay? We got Tiffany is here. We got Catherine is here. Aileen is here. Evan is here. Erie is here. May is here. Destiny is here in the TikTok chat. Who we got over in the YouTube chat? I see we got Tracy Niles here today. We got Dollhouse here today. We got Sarah here today. Miss Nikki here today. Mary is here today. Oh, yeah, a special shout out to Irina in our TikTok chat today as well. I see it's Irina's birthday today, so special shout out to you, Irina. Happy birthday. We got Tracy Niles, one of our amazing channel members here today. We got BB is here today as well. Ivy, one of our amazing channel members. Who else? Oh, Amal, one of our amazing channel members is here. I want to make sure I go through and check up on all the amazing channel members who are here. Welcome, 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 all you beautiful souls in the YouTube chat. And of course, we got Missy America as our moderator holding us down as like the principal. Okay, so let's get started today, and you know we will have lots of discussion along the way. Now, today is a very important show, okay? So number one, we're going to start off with inspiration, okay? And this is a really important show because this concept is actually going to encapsulate a lot of what we talk about in future shows and in past shows. And I want you to continue soaking in this concept along with everything else we talk about, because this is going to be everything you're trying to do on your dates and throughout your relationship. This is me trying to help you understand how men work. So inspiration is number one because I want you to understand you're at your most powerful in terms of getting men to think and feel a certain thing when you can understand what actually gets them to move. What actually gets men to move is not you telling them to do this and do that and be like this and beg them and plead them and all this stuff. It's by understanding how to inspire them in the ways that motivate them and get them to move, that they take that inspiration and then they choose to move or take action based on whatever inspiration or organic thought they feel has come to them. This is going to sound, for some of you who might be on the younger side and a little bit less experienced in the ways of the Players Club, this is going to sound very like mystical to you, very spiritual to you, okay? Very like heebie-jeebie hippie stuff. But I promise you, as you become an expert in relationships and as you join the Players Club more and more and more, this will make a lot more sense to you. And when you practice it, it'll become even more clear to you, okay? So it's so important that you understand inspiration is the key to everything you're doing when you're planting seeds. See, the reason that you're going to be planting seeds, to help you understand this, is because men are not going to make changes for you and for the betterment of your relationship just by you telling them to. Okay, I know that this sounds unfortunate. It's probably going to make you a little bit sad. You're going to be like, that makes me a little bit sad. It makes me want to tear up. But here's the thing. Men only make changes for you when they feel like it's necessary to make a change. So if you don't properly understand how to make men feel within themselves internally that it's necessary to make a change, they will never make a change, no matter how much you beg, no matter how much you ask, no matter how much you spend all your time and energy telling him all the ways he's wronged you and disrespected you and not treated you right. None of that is going to click in his mind and help him understand how to properly treat you right. So inspiration is something you need to grasp the concept of. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, okay, Tomisin, I understand a little bit more about inspiration and why it's so important, but how do I actually implement it in my relationships and in my talking stages? Well, inspiration is something that's going to be unique to each and every man that you're going to be dating. So you have to understand that one of the key elements, remember, I always tell you, information is king. When you go out on your dates, you're always looking to gather information, because that information is what's actually going to allow you to do any of the stuff that we talk about here. Without information, good, solid, truthful, real information, you will never be able to do any of the stuff we talk about in the Players Club. Because if you're on your dates and you're just in la la land thinking to yourself, oh, I love the compliments, tell me again how beautiful I am, tell me again how big my dump truck is, and you're just sitting around feeling good about yourself getting love bombed, that's not going to help you gather gather information. So when you're on your dates, you need to be gathering information. Now, this specific type of information I'm talking about, you need to understand what motivates him and inspires him, what gets him moving. Okay. Now, for each and every guy, it's going to be slightly different. Now, and some of what you're going to realize is what motivates him is actually something that doesn't work for you. Meaning, some guys are going to say, "Well, I'm motivated by sitting around and playing video games all day," or "I don't really care about anything in life, and so I just kind of like don't want anything. I don't care about anything. I just want to basically go through life doing the bare minimum." This is part of the thing that you have to be acknowledging and understanding. See, part of what you're doing is you're looking for the best partner for you. Now, in the process of you looking for the best partner for you, you're trying to understand that partner so you can understand how they tick, so that you can understand how to get from that best partner for you exactly what you need and what you want. Some of the men that you meet, unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to motivate them because they have no real source of motivation. What I mean by that is some men that you meet will literally only want to go about life with the absolute bare minimum of energy and time required in life. They're not going to want to do anything hard that requires any sort of effort, and they're not even going to be motivated by simple things like money. Even when they say they're motivated by money, when you ask them what they do to get money, they won't tell you a damn thing. Okay. And so you have to understand some men that you're going to meet, it's going to be very hard to even find what motivates or inspires them because they really and truly have very little to nothing. They're not really waking up in the morning for anything. I know that sounds sad, so said damn, but it is true. And the thing that I want you to do when you recognize this within a man that you're dating, I just want you to walk away from him. Because if you can't understand what motivates him and makes him tick and gets him to go, it's going to be very difficult for you to implement that in your relationships and actually get him moving, right? And get what you want out of him. You want to meet and build with a man that has very clear motivations and what he needs out of life so that you can understand how you can, shine that light on yourself. We're going to talk about shining a specific light on you and understand how to motivate him to get what you want out of him, right? So let me give you an example of what I mean in terms of inspiration. Let's say, for the sake of example, the guy that you're with in the process of learning. Now, we're going to go deep here. This is going to sound a lot like being a therapist, but we're going deep here. This is part of being in relationships. Let's just say, for the sake of example, when you're meeting a guy, in the process of you getting to know him and going on dates with him and hearing about his life story, you start to hear about his relationship with his father a lot. And the fact that he hasn't really had a relationship with his father. And even deeper than that, you start to hear him tell stories of, this one time I, graduated college or university and I graduated with honors and I became an engineer and I was so proud of myself. But honestly, I felt a little bit disappointed that my dad didn't come to my graduation because I've never got the chance to hear, him say that he's proud of me. And I just put in so much work into that and becoming an engineer and, trying to, be the best that I can be. I really wish he could have been there to actually see me become that thing. Right? And to be able to hear him say that I'm proud of me. And I know that sounds very deep, but this is the level of depth you should be getting with the guys that you're dating. Okay. If you're actually serious about building a relationship with them, because now you can take that information. Now you're not going to use it against him, but you are going to use it as information to understand how he thinks, how he operates, and what motivates him. So when you gather that information and you say, okay, clearly you've been in a situation where in your life you felt like people that you cared about the most didn't actually acknowledge your hard work, didn't tell you that they love you, didn't tell you that they appreciate you, and you want to feel like someone that you care about is really proud of you. Now you can start thinking to yourself, okay, so one of the voids I'm going to be filling in his life as his partner, I'm going to make sure and be extra sensitive to the fact that when he does something, when he works hard on something, that I give him those words of affirmation. Sometimes even men themselves can be telling you, oh, my love language is is physical touch. And then in the process of you actually getting to know him and meeting him, you realize your love language isn't physical touch. Your love language is words of affirmation, or your love language is quality time, or your love language is acts of service. Okay. A lot of guys, even especially, are hardwired to just think, oh yeah, it's physical touch for me because I get horned up whenever I feel on a nice dump truck or some voluptuous yitties, without realizing the things that they've experienced in their childhood, how it affects them, and what actually is motivating them. Okay. So I use that as an example to help you understand when you start receiving that information about him, you'll begin to get a better understanding of what actually motivates him and how you can use the way you are and the person you are and being his partner to channel that same motivation to get things from him. So like I talked about when it came to inspiration and understanding, okay, so this guy never got a chance to hear from his dad that he's proud of him when he graduated university and things like that. Now I know I definitely want to be giving you words of affirmation. Now you also know if I want to get the best out of you as a partner, I better make sure that when you're doing those amazing things in our relationship, or when you're trying your best or putting your best foot forward, that I make very sure I'm giving you lots of words of affirmation during that time, even going to the extent of telling you how proud I am of you when you make accomplishments even outside of our relationship, and see when you're making career leaps or you're growing your business, or you're, going to the next level in your wherever in your passions. And I tell you also that I'm proud of you, and I see all the hard work you're doing, and I see how much effort you're putting in, right? These are part of the things that you start understanding. Okay, if I want to touch his heart, if I want to get the best out of him as a partner, this is the area I must attack. This is the area I must pay the most attention to, okay? And for each and every guy that you date, it's going to be slightly different, which is exactly why I tell you, you have to be gathering information, because I can't just give you a cookie cutter answer as to, oh, exactly what inspires all men is if you grow the biggest dump truck in the gym and that's what's going to inspire him to be a good partner to you. That's not how it works, okay? What's going to inspire him is going to be very unique to him, his own unique circumstances, and what he's been through in life. So then it becomes your job as a partner, and as a partner who actually wants him to fall in love with you properly, you want to be extracting this information to understand that. Does that make sense so far to all of you beautiful people? Okay, right? It's very, very important that you understand this. Someone came in and said, what's the topic today? Today's topic is how to plant seeds that make men fall in love. That is today's topic. Okay. So number one was inspiration. Excuse me. Number two, you want to understand how to control things from the shadows. See, what you need to understand is you are great, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're an amazing woman. But when you're growing your relationship with your man, you have to adopt the mindset that if you want your man to do the things that you want, you have to understand how to control without controlling. Because what will happen is the moment you try to overtly control your man, he will automatically push back against that, and he'll become defensive against that. And he'll feel like you think you're smarter than him, or you think you're better than him, or you think you know what's best for him. And you don't want that, because then it becomes him versus you. What you want to get strategic at, and I know you're thinking, Tomisin, that's so childish. He gets defensive when I'm literally I'm literally in the right. I'm literally telling him exactly what he needs to hear and things like that. But here's the thing. What you need to get good at understanding is you can get exactly what you want. But the way you go about getting exactly what you want is not going to necessarily be in the way that you might want to or think is the right way to go about it. But if you get strategic with controlling from the shadows, you can receive exactly what you want all the same way. So the reason I'm bringing this up as a topic is because when it comes to planting seeds, if you're actually going to be good at this, and I really mean this, right? Because planting seeds can be so powerful to get men falling in love with you, to get men wanting you, to get men giving you princess treatment and all that good stuff. In order to do this, you have to put away your desire to overtly control the men that you're in a relationship with. And what I mean by that is, while you might want specific things from them and you want to receive specific things from them, you have to understand you can't go over the top and make it obvious that you are trying to force him to do a specific thing. The best way for you to go about that, if you actually want to receive something from him, is to plant that seed inside of him strategically and allow that seed to grow within him internally. And then when he comes to his own realization, he will act on that realization based on that inspiration and based on that seed that has been planted within him. And when he acts on it, you will get exactly what you want out of the situation. So you definitely want to make sure you understand controlling from the shadows is where you're going to operate the best from. Don't be thinking that, hey, when I tell him all the things that he's doing wrong, or I force him to admit that I'm right and he's wrong and I know best and he should do this and live his life this way and treat me like this and treat me like that, that's when he's actually going to make a change. What I want for you to start thinking, how I want you to start thinking is, okay, I want a particular result out of him. I want a particular action out of him. I want him to treat me or give me this particular thing. How can I implant a seed within him that grows and creates the inspiration to think about doing that action? Then he acts on it and he does it. Okay, so let me give you an example of how to do this. I mentioned this in another show and it kind of relates, right? So let's say, just for the sake of example, you want a really nice, a better purse, okay? And you want a better purse, and you and your man loves going to football games. You and him, he's got a season ticket pass to his favorite football team, and you guys go to football games all the time. Understanding how to control things from the shadow and planting seeds would be this. Instead of you saying, hey, man, you have money. I want your money. Give me $2,000 for a brand new handbag and a brand new purse. I want money. Give me your money. Take it out of your bank account and put it in my hand. Cold hard cash, right? That is a version of trying to get what you want out of a man by overtly trying to control his actions. Now, let me give you an example of what it means to control from the shadows while still getting what you want, okay? Controlling from the shadows would be saying to yourself, okay, my man loves going to football. My man loves, being a season ticket holder. We're always at football games. I also know that when we go to football games, he always asks me for a whole bunch of stuff because he forgets a whole bunch of stuff at the house. When we get to the football game, or even when we're in the car, when we're driving home, he's asking me for this chapstick. He needs deodorant because he sweats a lot. He needs this. He needs water. He needs whatever it is that he needs when we go to these football games that he's always at, an extra jersey, whatever it may be. Now you make the case, right, where you say, oh, last time we were at the football game, I wanted to bring you the deodorant stick because I know you start sweating through your shirt, or I know you like to bring an extra jersey, but I just can't fit it in my bag because my bag is too small. And I don't have any other bigger bags that they would let into the stadium that I can fit an extra jersey or fit this extra deodorant or all the stuff that you need. And I wish I could bring it for you if I just had a bag big enough for me to be able to do it. Oh, well, hopefully we'll try and figure it out. But man, I know how bad you need that. And I want to get it for you so bad. If only I could just be able to fit it in my bag, or maybe I'll find a smaller deodorant stick or something like that. Now, you have now framed the idea of you getting a brand new handbag that's a little bit bigger through the lens of, oh, I want to do this thing for you and me because I know how much you need this. We know we love going to the games. We love football, don't we? High five football. Okay. And I love going to football with you. I love spending this quality time with you. And if I could just bring these things in my handbag, it would make our quality time even better. And you know exactly how you ask for this and you ask for that and you need this. I just wish there was a way to solve this problem. Okay. He now takes that and he says, yeah, honey, you're right. Yeah, we really do need to, when I come, I sweat a lot. And, I hate that. I don't want to be going around all sweaty. It's a game, but it just kind of starts to reek and stuff. I need that extra deodorant, right? And he starts thinking to himself, interesting. So you need a bigger bag. And I do know we're going to go to the game next weekend. Are there bigger bags I can get for you? I do remember her saying something about, oh yeah, there's this one particular, what is it called? A baize bag? maybe I get her a beige bag. Would that be big enough? Let me see what this. Okay, I'll get her a beige bag. All right, yeah. Well, maybe we'll get something like that for her, or just a larger little purse that she can carry around. Something that, or what is that? A Telfair? Yeah. I seen her talking about this. I seen her. She always talks about a Telfair bag. Maybe I get her okay, I'll get the Telfair bag. And now he presents to you a brand new Telfair bag. Hey, babe, this is a nice little Telfair bag. You were saying that you needed something bigger to get the sweaters and to get the deodorant and to bring all this stuff. So I got you a Telfair bag because I seen that was the one that you were always, looking at as well. And I just felt like this would be like the perfect thing for you to be able to bring with you to the stadium, that you could, pack all the stuff that you're looking for to pack in. And you're like, oh my God, I never in a million years imagined you would get me a Telfair bag. I can't. I'm crying tears of joy because I didn't even think of getting a bigger bag when I was thinking about how small my bag was and how I needed to put the deodorant and the extra jerseys. And I just can't believe how you're so smart and intelligent that you thought about getting me a bigger bag. You control from the shadows. Okay. And this is the reason I give you that example is because I want you to understand how powerful that can be. Now, that is obviously an example of you getting a bag, but I don't only want you to think about controlling from the shadows when it comes to material things or getting money out of him. You can control from the shadows even as it relates to receiving princess treatment, right? And receiving that good treatment, right? Even just by presenting ideas and letting that inspiration grow within the men that you're dating. It can be so powerful for you in your relationships. And I promise you will start to become literally dumbfounded by how much you receive from men when you literally just allow seeds to grow within them and you allow them to come to their own conclusion that you think is very obvious, okay? But you just don't say it out loud so that they can put the rest of the pieces together. They can come to you and be like, hey, I put all of these pieces together. Don't you think that this is an amazing option or amazing answer? And you're just like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And that was what you wanted or were looking for the entire time. Okay, right? And it's so important to understand how to control from the shadows. Now, one of the things where you're in controlling from the shadows, remember, in order to control from the shadows, especially as I talked about with inspiration, you have to understand what inspires him and motivates him. You can't possibly control from the shadows without understanding how to push that guy's buttons. What makes him go, what makes him tick, what gets him up in the morning, okay? I'll give you an example of me when I was a kid. When I was a child, I loved playing football, okay? That was like my real big passion. I was really focused on that. Even as a child, I was like, damn, I want to play football. I want to get better. I want to train. I want to get stronger. I want to get faster, do all the stuff required, watching videos, practicing, all the good stuff. So whenever I wasn't doing good in school, or if I was acting up in school, one of the first things my parents would do when they see me acting up in school or in the classroom, they would say, if you continue this bad behavior or you don't fix your grades, we will take away your opportunity to play football. Because if that's something that motivates me, simply either giving that to me or taking that away can easily get me to act a particular way or, stop acting a particular way. So I say that to say, when you learn what motivates your man, you can understand how to give him something or take something away that is really important to him that will actually affect his behavior. That is so much more powerful in order to get what you want from men, because then you don't have to scream and you don't have to yell. Okay? You don't have to beg him and you don't have to plead to get good treatment. You just understand what you can giveth and what you can taketh away based on what motivates him and inspires him to understand what makes him tick and what makes him work. That's what control from the shadows really is about. Right? It's not forcing people to do something. It's understanding how they work so that you can strategically get them to act the way that you want based on what you give them or don't give them. Right? Does that make sense? So, very important to understand inspiration and control from the shadows. Now, number 3, let's talk about you have to shine the right light. So I talked to you guys earlier about the inspiration and understanding what motivates him, what makes him tick. One of the other things you want to understand as well, especially as it relates to you as his partner, you want to understand exactly what he's looking for in a partner. You know, one of the amazing questions that guys ask you when they go out on a date with you, what are you looking for? This is an extension of a question that I want you asking him, but I don't just want you asking him the basic question of what you're looking for, because guys aren't nuanced enough to be able to answer that question with enough there's a spider on top of the ceiling, with enough detail that will actually give you the information that you are looking for. Okay. What I mean by that is when you ask a guy, what are you looking for? The answer that you actually want is not just, oh, I'm looking for something serious. That's what they're all going to say. When you ask a guy what you're looking for, you want to be understanding what is it that you actually need and desire in a partner, like deep down. Like for real. Not just the basic, oh, you want to grow with the big dump truck, or you want to grow with huge yitties, or you want to grow with the nice smile. Like, what do you actually require out of a partner, right? And a woman and a wife. Like, what actually matters to you, okay? If the spider falls on my head, I guess we'll just have to fight through it, okay? So you have to make sure that you understand what he's looking for in a wife. And the reason for that is because you have to then, after you get a sense of what he's looking for specifically in a wife, you have to then position the light on you, to shine the right light on you, so that he can see what is necessary to see in you in order to make you his girlfriend or his wife. Okay, this sounds a little bit complicated in theory. Someone says, oh, will this be pre-recorded? It's on my YouTube. So I'm live on YouTube. Just go on YouTube. It's my name. It's on the top right. Just type in Tomisin on YouTube and you'll see me live there. You can rewind it, fast forward, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm live at the same time. So shining the right light is so important. You have to make sure when you learn because it's an ongoing process, as you're continuing to learn what that guy wants to receive from a wife and what is the most important to him in a relationship with a woman, how, the type of girlfriend he's looking for and all that good stuff, assuming you actually want him and this is the kind of man you want to be with. Now you have to start making sure you're very cognizant of shining that particular light of what he's looking for on yourself. Because here's the thing. And this is not about changing who you are. This is not about becoming a different person. I'm not telling you, hey, make sure you lie to him and make him think you're someone you're not. There's a reason why I said to shine the right light on you, okay? Does that make sense? And the reason I'm saying that you want to shine the right light on you is because if he doesn't know that you possess those qualities, if he doesn't know that you are the person that he's looking for, then he's not going to know you're the person that he's looking for. So it's very important that as he helps you understand exactly the type of woman he's looking for, that he gets an opportunity to actually see those skill sets and those qualities and those character traits in you, whether directly or indirectly. Okay, let me give you an example of exactly what I mean here. So let's say, for the sake of example, he's like, I really need a partner who's on the same wavelength and frequency as me and is capable of supporting me and helping me reach greater heights. Okay, let's just say for the sake of example, that's what he needs. And he's like, I want my wife to be someone that pushes me and motivates me to be even better than I already, can be on my own. Because that's what I think a relationship should be, okay? And let's say this is a guy that you really like and you're like, I really want this guy and I want to be with this guy. Now, this is a strategy that you can use. You understand, okay, he's really looking for someone who's gonna, make him better and help him reach even greater heights in his life as a wife. That's one of the main things that he's looking for. Now you can start thinking when he tells you, when you say, hey, did you go to the gym today? And he's like, oh, nah, babe, I'm just super sore and I'm super tired. What happened to your goals? Did you not say that you wanted to reach this PR for the month? Did you not say you were trying to get to this weight for the month? What happened to that? You're supposed to be doing this how many days a week? Yeah, I said 5 days a week. And so why aren't you there today? I was just really sore. You're sore now, but if you go and you stretch, will you be less sore? Yes, I'll be less sore. So why don't you go to the gym a little bit later, you stretch it out, you do a nice run, and you'll be less sore and you'll get to where you need to go. Oh, you know what? You're right. I gotta stay on the grind. You are 100% right. And you see how you have just given him something that he was looking for. Because now when he goes to the gym, some people said, mama, no, I want you guys to understand. When a guy talks to you about the things that he's looking for out of a relationship, you have to be thinking to yourself, okay, how do I help you achieve that if I want to be with you? So if a guy is saying, hey, I would love to be with the partner that can help me reach greater heights, and he's saying, yes, I try my best to do my best every single day, but of course there are some times where I can't be at my absolute best. There's some times where my emotions take over and I say, damn, am I good enough today? Can I get to where I need to go today? And I need a wife who can be like my person that also helps to keep me motivated as well. And we keep each other motivated and we keep each other accountable. And you give him that in the relationship strategically. Now he's saying to himself, damn, she is exactly what I'm looking for, because I am at this gym now, even though I was sore, even though I worked out all week, and even though I'm tired, she reminded me of what my goals are and what I'm trying to achieve here. And that helped me to show up today at this gym, and she kept me accountable. Now that I'm thinking to the type of woman I want, I'm putting two and two together. The exact woman that I was thinking I needed in my life and the type of relationship that I desire deeply to be in is actually the relationship that I'm having with her. So you understand, when you can start to make those connections for men, they start to say to themselves, oh no, this is my woman. Like, this is the one that I want. And as they build, see, this is why it's so powerful. Because when you plant that seed, right, all you did was tell him, hey, go to the gym today, right? Like, that's all you did essentially. But now, because that seed has been planted, I'm at the gym now because she held me accountable, and she, helped to motivate me to be even better. Because today I wouldn't have gone, but she motivated me to go, and she reminded me why I'm here, what I'm trying to do here and what my goals are. So then he's going to be thinking, oh, this looks like the relationship that I've been wanting. This is the woman I've been wanting. Now, when he approaches you or approaches the relationship, he approaches it with a little bit more seriousness, because he's starting to build the narrative within his mind that, hey, you're the type of woman I'm looking for. This is the type of relationship that I've been seeking and wanting. Are you following what I'm saying? Okay. Anytime you help a man, that doesn't mean you're mothering him. I want you guys to get that understood. Okay. Mothering a man is when you have to get him off the couch to do anything. Mothering a man is not helping to keep him accountable and helping him reach higher heights. That's what you're supposed to be doing as a woman. You're supposed to be helping your man be like Superman and go even higher and better and stronger and faster than he already was capable of doing on his own. Okay. That's part of one of your superpowers as a woman. So I want you guys to understand that, right? And when you're capable of understanding how to shine the right light on yourself, you can understand how to strategically give him what he said he was looking for. But once you give him that, you don't tell him, hey, so I want you to know that when I held you accountable today, that's an exact example of exactly why I'm the woman that you're looking for. No. You just give him what it is that he's looking for, shine that light on yourself, and you sit back and relax and allow that seed to be planted within his mind, and allow him to realize, she is what I'm looking for. She is the type of woman I'm looking for, and allow him to act on that. Then when he comes to you and he's like, I want you to know you're like exactly the type of woman I'm looking for, you can act so surprised and shocked. Oh my God, you think I'm the absolute most perfect person and exactly what you're looking for? What on earth could make you say that? I literally don't know. I just be being myself. I don't know what possibly makes you think I'm so amazing and so awesome and exactly what it is you're giving me all these presents. Why Gucci? Why Prada? Why Versace? Because I'm like the absolute perfect person you're looking for? I don't know why you would think that. I just try to be me every single day, and I don't know, maybe just me being me is what makes me so interesting. I don't know what my secret is. Perfect. Okay? You shine the right light on yourself, allow him to see that light being shown on you, and then allow him to come to his own conclusions. It's great. It's amazing. You get what you want, and he approaches you like you're the woman he's actually looking for. Okay. The best example that I can think of you as an analogy to help you understand why this is so important and why this works so well is if you go to a job interview and let's say you're working at this job interview and they're like, oh yeah, so for this specific position, you are going to be, teaching, but specifically you're going to be teaching and coaching children. So we really are looking for someone who has experience with children because teaching and coaching in general is pretty simple, but teaching and coaching children is a very different kind of animal. And imagine if you go to that interview and you don't make the interviewee aware that you have coached and taught children before. And the interviewee doesn't know that you have that skill set or you have those traits or you have that knowledge and experience. Because if you don't shine that light on yourself and the person interviewing you for that job, that position that works with children doesn't know that you're capable and have experience working with children, then how will they know that you're actually the best candidate for the job? Because all the other candidates who are great teachers and great coaches have never taught or coached children before. Meanwhile, you have worked extensively with children. So you have to understand shining the right light on yourself in any capacity is so important. Because for the people that you want to, choose you, right? So when you're interviewing for a job, you want that interviewer to choose you. When you're dating someone and you really like them, it's not just about you liking them. You also want them to choose you, right? Not that you're a pick-me-sha, but you obviously want that person to want to be with you if you want to be with them. So you have to understand if this is my character and if this is who I am and these traits are honest and real for me, I have to make sure in our relationship, I actually get the opportunity to shine that light on myself so that he can see that I have those qualities and not just be in a relationship with me, not realizing that this is who I am, okay? Because in the opposite sense, you can make the mistake of being in a relationship with the guy and he sees all the wrong qualities and sides of your character. And I'm sure some of you have made that mistake. I've made that mistake. We all make that mistake sometimes. Sometimes when you are in a relationship with someone, based on the circumstances of the situation, you might meet them, things might go wrong, or a lot of unexpected things might happen. And just the way they get to meet you and see you and understand you is not in line with who you think you really are. And you almost feel like, damn, I feel like you got the worst impression of me. Because if you were to speak to my family, my friends, my coworkers, they would all have this amazing impression of me. And I feel like just the experiences we had specifically made me look so much different than who I actually know that I am on a regular everyday basis. So you can do that in the good way and in the wrong way. So you have to understand that when you're dating guys and when you're meeting them, you get a sense of what motivates them, what inspires them, what they're looking for specifically in a wife. If that is true and honest to you, you figure out the ways that you are still you, but how you can shine the right light on you so they get an opportunity to see those qualities and traits from you. Because when you plant that seed within them that I'm actually who you're looking for, right? And they get to come to that conclusion themselves, they approach you and the relationship as if you're the woman that they're actually looking for. And when they think you're the woman they're actually looking for, they take it so much more seriously. Okay? Right? Someone says, is this live? 100% live. All right? Does that make sense to you guys? You guys have any questions about that so far? About what we discussed so far. It's very important that you understand how to do this, okay? Operating from the shadows is always going to be when you're the strongest and in the most control, okay? Does that make sense? Says he should take this seriously after all this work. Well, yes, of course. I would hope so. Chris says, is there a book written by you? Not yet. One day. Ann says, can I rewatch this tomorrow? You 100% can. It's on my YouTube channel. It's just Tomisin Atobatele right above my head on the top right corner of the screen. You go on my YouTube and you'll be able to find this live show because I'm live at the same time there, okay? So, someone said you should do TED Talks. Sure, tell them hit me up. Inspiration is number 1. Control from the shadows, number 2. You shine the right light, number 3, okay? And number 4, what I want you to do is I want you to never reveal your trick, okay? This is actually something very interesting that I want you to take in. That's really important in life. One of the things that you're going to notice is a lot of times understanding how something works takes the magic away from it. You are the most fascinated and enamored by something when you have no idea the inner workings of it, okay? Hot dogs were so much more delicious and tasty before you knew exactly what goes into a hot dog and how it's made. When you find out what goes into a hot dog and how it's made, it's a little bit less delicious and a little bit less tasty. And you can never unsee or unhear what goes into a hot dog. Are you following what I'm saying? So it's so important that you understand, because remember, today's show is about understanding how to plant seeds that make men fall in love with you. You never want to make men aware of the fact that you're planting seeds within them and allowing those seeds to grow. Okay. And the reason I'm making this a point is because some of you will make this mistake when things are working really well for you. So when I give you all of this strategy and I help you understand how to shine the right light and I help you understand inspiration and planting seeds and all that good stuff, you might start thinking to yourself, okay, great, Tomisin, I'm going to implement this. You're going to implement it and you're going to be like, oh, wow, this works perfectly well. And then when you're dating this guy, you're going to be telling him, oh, yeah, by the way, back when we were dating, one of the things that I made sure to do was to keep you accountable because you said that's what you were looking for. Or one of the things that I made sure to do is because I understood that that would make you like me more or see me more or be more interested in me. Don't do that. Okay? Don't make that mistake of revealing your magic trick. Don't ever tell your audience how magic actually works. Just let them continue believing in the idea that it's magic. Even if they have serious doubts about it, just keep telling them that it's magic. That way, it keeps them guessing, and the less they know about the trick, the better, because it keeps being a trick until they understand how the trick works. Okay. And I say that to say, you have to understand there is magic. There is a je ne sais quoi in understanding I can plant seeds within you that's going to make me really attractive to you. That's going to make me really desirable to you. But that doesn't mean I need to tell you all of my tricks and all of my secrets. And one of the smartest things you're ever going to do, and I know this is going to sound mean, it's going to sound really crazy, right? But one of the smartest things you can do is understanding how to play dumb. Not that you are dumb, and not that you're actually incapable or not intelligent, but understanding how to play dumb at the right times will actually get you so much further. Because when people think that you're not up to anything, that you are, you're not doing something in the shadows or behind closed doors, or you don't have some secret, plan or strategy or scheme, that's when they're the most disarmed, and that's when they're the most capable of receiving whatever it is that you're giving to them. So we're not going to tell anyone about this part, right? But you have to understand that the magic trick really works the best when they don't even know that there's anything going on. Okay? So you can't get hungry or thirsty or itchy to start telling people exactly what makes you so fascinating or interesting to them. And you have to allow them to think, oh, I don't even understand why you like me so much. I don't get why you're so obsessed with me. I don't understand why you want to spend all your money on me. You're literally buying me thousands of dollars of gifts. Like, don't you think this is too much? Like, I don't even ask for this. Why do you want to spend all your money? Why are you trying to fly me out across the world? I mean, you're taking me on trips. If that's what you want to do, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being me. And that's what actually can help. I know it sounds silly, but that actually can help make you more attractive to people. When you feel like, I don't know what makes me the most attractive. I'm literally oblivious to it. I don't know why all the guys want me. I don't know why I'm so desirable. I don't know. I barely even see it. I barely even notice it. I'm just being me. And that's in the weirdest way. And this is why it's called planting seeds. See, when you make guys feel like, yes, I'm desired, but I'm just being me, right? I literally just be me. I don't do anything intentional to make myself more desirable. It makes men want to tell you the ways that you're the most desirable. And it makes them almost want to convince you, no, you got to see how amazing you are. Am I? I don't know. Am I really? Yes. Let me tell you how. Let me show you why you're the most beautiful girl on this earth. Let me show you why you're the most decadent, beautiful, amazing, awesome princess in all the land. I don't know. Is it really true? I don't know. I'm just being me. I'm not really trying to do anything. Right. And as weird as it sounds, when you stop trying to convince people that you're amazing, it's like in a weird way, they try to tell you how amazing you are. So one of the things that you want to notice about planting seeds is get good at receiving compliments, but playing dumb to those compliments. As if you don't know why they're so obsessed with you. You don't know why they desire you so much. You don't know what makes you so fascinating to them that they want to text you all the time, message you all the time, talk to you all the time. See, when you start getting good at this, at everything that we're talking about, you'll hear guys say things to you like, I don't know why, but I can't stop thinking about you. Oh, I don't know why either. I wonder why. I don't know why, but I love talking to you and I love spending time with you. I don't know why either. It must be a mystery to me. I don't get it. I'm literally just, but we just hang out. Is it really that amazing? I promise you, it touches my soul. Even when we're just hanging out, we're chilling. I love the time that we spend together. Huh. That's awesome. That's amazing. And you just take it. And you act like you have no idea what's going on. Meanwhile, you operate within the shadows and you use your strategies of understanding how to plant seeds strategically to get people enamored with you, get them obsessed with you, and plant these seeds to grow that inspiration within them that they start thinking, wow, I really want you. I really want to be with you. I really want us to be in a relationship, okay? Because the place that what I'm trying to get you to be, right? The place in life and in your relationship that I'm trying to get you to be in is where a guy is pursuing you and he's like, I like you so much. I need you to be my girlfriend because I don't want any of these other girls. I know that you're the girl I'm looking for and I know that I want to be with you and in a relationship with you. Because when he approaches you like that, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and decide if you actually like this guy, okay? He says act nonchalant, 100%, okay? As weird as it sounds, when you act nonchalant and you act like I don't know, what it is that you love about me so much, that's when the guys want to chase you the heaviest. That's when they want you the most. That's when they want to push and pursue for you the most, right? As opposed to when they see that you're trying so hard or when they see that you're smart enough to recognize what you're doing or you're smart enough to actually like control things or manipulate things, that's when they start getting their guard up, okay? So you actually win the war by making it seem like you're not even here for a battle in the first place. Okay, like you're not even thinking about a battle in the first place because then the men around you are disarmed and then they start giving you whatever you want anyways. Remember, even when I told you and we had the conversation about how to get money out of a man and how to get a man to spend his money on you, one of the first things I told you guys was to never speak about money because if you actually want money, you got to make sure you disarm the men to the idea that you're looking for money because the moment you make it obvious you're looking for money, they will immediately put their guard up and they'll be very reluctant to give you money. Okay, assuming that's not like his kink or something like that, right? Does that make sense to all of you? Those four. So number one was the inspiration. Number two, controlling from the shadows. Number three, to shine the right light. And number four, you never reveal the magic trick. You never tell them how magic works. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about what we just discussed? Okay. Noya says, what if they don't want a relationship? Well, here's the thing. If a guy doesn't want a relationship with you and he makes that clear to you, then you have to understand when you're wasting your efforts. Okay. Because of course, these efforts are meant to plant a seed within him that he'll be inspired by and take action on. But if that guy never gets inspired by it or he never takes action on it, then you have to actually move on with your life. You can't sit here thinking, oh, I'm going to do this until he realizes he wants to be with me. Meanwhile, he's dating a whole nother person. At a certain point, you have to realize when your energy is being wasted by trying to get this guy to like you when it's not working on him. Okay, you have to reside to the fact that planting seeds definitely will work on a lot of men, and you will get what you want for the men who are interested in you. But for a plethora of different reasons, a man that you try this and attempt this on might not be interested in you, or might have something else going on with a different relationship with a different person. And so you can't just think that, hey, anyone I come across anytime, I'm going to cast a spell on and take him from a stranger to being madly in love with me. Of course, there has to be a level of interest that he has in you. And of course, it's not like you can just take someone from being a complete stranger to being madly in love with you when you never speak to them. It's not like casting a spell. Okay, but you definitely can increase a guy's interest in you drastically with these methods. Okay, are you following what I'm saying? Right? Does that make sense? Noya says he genuinely likes me but doesn't want a relationship. Let me let you in on a secret, Noya. If he genuinely likes you, he would want a relationship. So one of those is a lie. I'll let you figure out which one is the lie. Okay. Ryan says, what if you are already dating and don't want to end or lose or him to lose interest? If you're already dating, you can still go about what I just talked about here the same way. In fact, if you're already dating someone or in a relationship with someone, then this will work even better for you. Okay, because a lot of this, especially when he already has interest in you, can drastically increase his level of interest in you when you start getting good at planting seeds within the guy that likes you instead of trying to control him, because then you'll still get what you want from him and he already likes you. So it's even easier to control him that way, if that makes any sense. I know it sounds bad, but it's the truth. Okay. Does that make sense? Either girl says we are dating, but he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend yet. How are you dating yet then? Okay. You probably rethink that. You can't be dating someone if he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend. Jennifer says, what if he pulls away and you stop calling and texting and we stop talking? I actually have a whole show on what to do when a man pulls away, but you definitely shouldn't be calling or texting him. Okay. D says, what if he's in a transition period in his life? Then you transition out of his life and you transition into being single and focusing on yourself. You don't wait for him to transition until he's ready to be in a relationship with you. That's an absolute waste of your time. You're going to be transitioning forever. Okay. You're going to be transitioning for a long time. Okay. You're going to be transitioning yourself into a side chick. That's what you'll be transitioning into. Okay. Jessica in the YouTube chat says, I do like to use a bit of French, but I don't speak it fluently. Wait, what? What are you talking about? The signs are all around us. We just got to pay better attention. I agree, Tracy Nels. Okay. Kim says, it is wrong to move to tell him, I feel like the energy is off, texting less, or does that come across as too bothered? No, if a guy is texting you or talking to you less, take that as a sign. You never, so actually this perfectly goes along with what I'm talking about. When you're planting seeds, you never, in order to get a guy to change his action, you never tell him, hey, I want you to change this or do this instead. Especially when you're in the beginning and you guys aren't in a relationship where you should be telling him do this or do that instead. The reason I say that is if you notice that the guy that you're dealing with is starting to pull away from you, stop texting you, stop talking to you, stop calling you, use that as a sign to let yourself know where he really stands. Don't start saying to yourself, oh, I'm going to take this opportunity to tell him, hey, you started to pull away from me. Please pull closer to me. Because guys will never respond to you telling them, hey, you talk to me less, you pull away from me, you're pulling away from me now. They're never going to respond to that with, hey, okay, now that you mentioned that, I'm going to start talking to you more, calling you more, and texting you more. They will never respond that way. Your best bet is to understand how to withdraw and figure out for yourself if withdrawing actually sparks the fact that he wants you and is interested in you enough to say, for him to say, hey, I've noticed that you've completely withdrawn and I want you and I don't want our relationship to end. So what's the problem? What's the reason you withdrawn? Then you can start talking about the things that have not been working for you or whatever it is. But you can't be doing that. You can't be just coming out and saying, hey, text me more, call me more, text me or talk to me more and thinking he's actually going to make a change, because they guarantee you he won't. Okay. Right. Bella says, don't waste your time. I agree. Don't waste your time. Right. Okay. Lily says, what if he's making plans to see me and says he wants to take things slow? Well, then let him take things slow then. If that's what he says, let's see if he's actually serious about it, okay? Country Girl says, what about online relationships? How can you know if they're for real? They're not. They're not. Country Girl, I'm going to be super honest with you. Online relationships aren't real. Until you meet that person in person, that is not a real relationship. Don't fool yourself. Don't pretend. Sending each other text is not a real relationship. Getting on the phone all the time is not a real relationship. Getting on FaceTime is not a real relationship. When you meet that person in person, then it's the start of a real relationship. Until you meet them in person, it is not a real relationship. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care what they try to convince you of. I don't care which coach you listen to. If you're here with me and you're asking me my opinion and my perspective, you are not in a real relationship until you meet them in person. Please put away your phone addiction when it comes to your relationships, okay? You will not build good relationships with men over the phone. Never, okay? You will always be the most attractive, fascinating, interesting, desirable when you focus on the in-person communication and in-person dynamic, okay? Anytime your focus is on the online and the texting and the phone calls and then this and that, that's the easiest way to be a side chick. That's the easiest way to be in a relationship with a guy who's married or has a girlfriend or has a whole nother situation going on. You want to be the main. You want to get treated like a princess. You focus all your time and energy on in person and how he feels about you in person and getting to know him in person, not over that damn cell phone. Okay. That's like the worst thing to happen to relationships is the cell phone, because it gets so easy to just sit back on your cell phone, type, and think that you're in a relationship. You're not, okay? Does that make sense? Right? Someone says, or the person said, I wanted to see what the person said earlier there. Country Girl says, he sought me out and there's a big age gap. I'm older. So even worse, because the younger guys, they don't take online relationships seriously. They might text you a whole bunch and then they'll go off and they'll do their own thing. Online relationships aren't real, okay? Malia says, what if he spends 75% of his time? That was funny. What if he spends 75? Let me see. Oh man, where'd it go? Oh, I missed it. I want to read this. I really want to read this. What if he's not wanting exclusivity but spends 75% of his time with you, not other dates? You're not in a relationship, okay? You're not in a relationship. If he doesn't want exclusivity with you, and regardless of how much time he spends with you, he's wasting both of your time, okay? He's wasting both of your time. Don't ever think that spending time with the guy who has no direction for your relationship is a good time spent, because all he's going to do is spend 75% of his time with you for a couple of months. And then you know what's going to happen 6 months down the line after he finishes utilizing you and jackrabbiting himself inside of you for 90 seconds. He's going to say, great. This was awesome. But now I found a girl that I actually want to be in a relationship with. So I'm going to block you. I'll see you never. And you'll be like, wait, I thought we were doing a thing. No. You weren't. Okay? You weren't. Don't make that mistake. Kim says, is it okay to ask if something is wrong instead of saying something is wrong? Instead of saying to text me, asking if there is something he wants to get off his chest. Dating for 8 months. He's been great, but 5 years younger. So I actually advise you, if you find yourself in a situation where you're unsure of where your man stands with you and you're noticing some pattern changes, I actually advise those of you who are in that situation to play a game with him. Now, this is assuming this is like your actual like boyfriend or something like that. Because if he's like pulling away from you and he's not your boyfriend, there's a 99.9% chance that you're delusional and he just doesn't have interest in you. So assuming like this is like your boyfriend or like this is like a serious relationship or like you're a fiance or something or your husband, I advise you to do something like playing a game with him. And the game I mentioned yesterday, I'll make this very simple and quick. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 plastic bags, and with your both plastic bags, you're going to tell him you want to play a game because you want to make it lighthearted. Say, let's play a game. You take your plastic bag, he takes a plastic bag, and both of you are going to put in notes in your plastic bag. So you're going to grab some scrap pieces of paper. You're going to write 10 things that you like about your relationship, like absolutely love about it, on 10 scrap pieces of paper. Then on 10 other scrap pieces of paper, you're going to write 10 things that you absolutely dislike or is not working for you in your relationship, okay? And so you're going to have 20 different notes. You're going to put them in your plastic bag. You're going to shuffle them all up. He's going to put them in his plastic bag. He's going to shuffle them all up. He's going to fold. You guys are both going to fold up your pieces of paper. Then after you fold up your pieces of paper, you're going to put them in a big pile in the middle. You guys are going to sit on the floor. You're going to scatter them, and each of you are going to take turns picking from that pile. This is if this is your boyfriend. It's a great game and great activity. It's easier for people to tell you what's bothering them when they write it on a piece of paper than to tell it to you, because it feels a little bit personal when they're saying it out to you and they don't want to offend you. When you put it on a piece of paper, you're going to start picking papers, and you're going to start, whether he reads it out or you read it out, you're going to start noticing a theme and a pattern of things that might not be working for him. And that's the best way to get the answer. You have to gamify stuff to really get to where you're going. A lot of times the hardest way to get what you want out of someone is to just tell them, hey, tell me what's wrong. A lot of people shut down and they're not able to tell you what's wrong. A lot of times playing a game is a great way to actually get someone to tell you what's wrong, because then when they're disarmed like that, they can actually just share with you openly. So that would be my advice to you, Kim, okay? If you wanted a strategy to be able to get your man that you've been dating for 8 months to tell you what's going on, okay? Does that make sense? Elizabeth says, what about dating younger men with a 7-year difference? Nice, but lives at home. What do you mean he's nice, but he lives at home? What does that mean? What does that mean? You can date whoever you want. If you're older and the guy you're dating is younger, there's nothing particularly wrong with that. That's a preference thing. I'm not going to tell you guys that your preference is good or bad. If you like younger men, if you like guys who are 5 foot, if you like guys who are 6'5", if you like guys who have long arms or T-Rex arms, if you like guys with 10 toes or 9 toes, or 1-inch PPs or 10-inch PPs, that's a preference. I'm not telling you guys what your preference should be, but I am trying to help you, get to whatever it is, the type of guy that you are looking for. Okay, your preference is your preference. All right, whatever that preference is, it doesn't make me lose any sleep, and I want that to be your preference, right? Someone says, what if he's a truck driver and is only home 2 days a week? Then you have to make a decision if you want to be in a long distance relationship or not. Because if he's only home 2 days a week and you can't even see him both 2 days because he's tired the days that he's home, you have to make a decision. Do you want to be in a relationship that you're only going to see your partner 2 days a week? If that doesn't work for you, then you probably should stop wasting your time, right? That, once again, that's a preference. That's a preference of what type of relationship you're looking for, okay? A lot of times the answers to your question can be solved as simply as asking yourself what it is that you're looking for. Because when you figure out what it is that you're looking for, what works and doesn't work for you, the answers to your questions become very, very, very simple. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of time saying, should I do this or should I do that? Or can I do this or can I do that? It's really about what works for you. If you don't want to be in a relationship with a guy who you only see 2 times out of the week, is only home 2 times out of the week, then you say to yourself, okay, I'm just not going to date someone who can only be home 2 times a week. I'll date someone who can be home every day. Isn't life amazing like that? Isn't life amazing? Kale says, how to deal with an avoidant when I am an avoidant myself. I guess you're just going to be avoiding each other. No, in all seriousness, if you're an avoidant, you're probably better matched with someone who's not an avoidant also. That's where you have to have a level of self-awareness to understand, hey, if I know I'm a particular way, there's certain aspects of me that aren't going to change. I'm better suited with a particular type of person knowing the way that I am. Okay, that's understanding you and understanding what your needs are. So if you're an avoidant person, that's not just going to change in the blink of an eye. You're better matched with someone who can be a little bit more attached to you and can actually, kind of fill in the gaps for you. That way, when you're an avoidant person, they're able to come to you a little bit and it all works the same, right? And you can have a good relationship. It doesn't have to be someone that's anxiously attached, but someone that might be a little bit more securely attached, or just someone in general that, is capable of coming to you a little bit more and doesn't mind that because that's their personality. That's something you have to start being self-aware of and understanding what works best for you in a relationship. If you're a super avoidant person, it just doesn't make sense for you to be going out and trying to date other people who are super avoidant, because both of you, that's a personality type thing. And your personality is not going to change overnight. So you're only going to be frustrated dating people who are also avoidants because both of you are going to be at stalemates all the time. So like, what's the point there, right? So you got to start getting good at understanding yourself and being self-aware and knowing what you need. Okay. Ira says he wants to marry me, but first needs permission from his parents. What does that say about him? First of all, what do you mean? What does that say about him? That can be a religious thing. That can be a family thing. That can also just be a simple respect thing, where he asked permission of his parents and maybe your parents as well before, marriage. There's a lot of cultures and religions that believe marriage is something very, very sacred. So you don't just willy-nilly say, oh, I met you at McDonald's and I like the way your shoes are and I like the size of your dump truck, let's get married. There's a lot of cultures and religions that believe that when you go and you take that step, that's a forever thing, even into the afterlife. So they take that as a very serious, like, okay, it's not just me and what I want in the moment. Let me ask my parents. Let me ask my parent, her parents. Let me have conversations with people before I jump into this decision because it's a forever thing. Okay. So with that being said, let's hop into our next segment of the day. Okay. It's an amazing segment. Spam up your headphone emojis, spam up your camera emojis, spam up your baby oil emojis. I had a little glitch there. We're going to be reacting to some segments around town in the TikTok universe, okay? The TikTok multiverse. And we're going to be looking at some of these videos and things that are going on about relationships, all right? So it's reaction time. Get your cameras out, get your headphones out, get your baby oil out. All righty. Let's hop into our first reaction of the day, okay? Let's see what we got here. What we got to react to. Okay, so I think this is our first one. Oh, no, not this.
3 of the most embarrassing reasons why girls get ghosted. Now, this is going to hurt a lot of y'all's feelings, so just be ready. But don't try to skip this video because I'm actually going to help y'all out. This is why I ghosted a lot of girls. This is why I don't really ghost girls like that because I don't talk to too many. You know what I'm saying? But this is why, you know what I'm saying, a lot of guys ghost girls. I'm not going to lie.
Sorry, I was muted, but I was saying, is that a secret flex? Because I don't think he's got to be lean that far to show us the seat emblem there. So it's quite a lean he's got going on conveniently to show us what kind of car he's in. Okay, that's all I was saying. But I noticed the flex. Nothing wrong with flexing, but I just took notice of it.
The first one, it easily has to do with you trying to play the hard to get within the talking stage. Ladies, a lot of y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to help y'all out. Don't hurt the messenger. Your pride is too high. Your pride is way too high. And it's not even good to have pride in the first place. But you really need to think, okay, now if you're chasing low value men, that's one of those things where you can't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your pride, I don't say pride, but your standards can be high when you're chasing low value men, or when you're getting low value men, or where you're getting with low value men. If bro is picking you up in his car all the time and he's just trying to, or you're picking him up, or you're just hanging out at the mall and he's just trying to lust, yeah, that's a low value man. You get what I'm saying? It's okay to have standards in, but when this dude had his life together, he has his mental straight mentality, as in, why are you trying to play hard to get? You're acting like this isn't the man of your dreams. The second thing, the second one is easily,
okay, don't do what he's saying here. If a guy is the man of your dreams, that is exactly when you don't want to worship him. If you worship him like he's the man of your dreams, he will never take you seriously. Because if you make him feel like all the other girls make him feel who come across him and probably worship him also, you will definitely not stand out in his eyes. So please do not, I don't know why he gave you that as this advice. I don't know why someone would send me this video, probably just to make me mad. It doesn't make sense, okay? Don't worship men especially when you think they're actually amazing, you can't worship them because that'll go straight to their head and they're never going to see you as an equal. They're only going to see you as just something beneath them.
Just because you're stalking our account too much. And ladies, you may be like, well, how does he know if I'm stalking him? Why are you trying to play hard to get? You're acting like this isn't the man of your dreams. The second one is easily just because you're stalking our account too much. And ladies, you may be like, well, how does he know if I'm stalking him or not? Bro, when you're in his IG direct, it's so obvious. If a guy is in your IG direct, you're going to know he's stalking you. And I told you how to get there. Press the share, then go to Instagram direct. It's so simple. Or you can go to it on the app, but it takes like 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you think I'm just trying to get shares, go to it on the app. But that's just the fastest way to get to it. The third thing.
That's cap. That doesn't work. Okay. It's just a plot to get you to share. It doesn't work.
Is because you have no bag to you. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of girls lack knowledge that literally, ladies, you don't have to work at a fast food restaurant. You don't have to go to corporate. You don't have to.
What the hell is he talking about? No, like actually, what is the point of this video? Who sent this to me? You guys like to send me videos just to make me mad. I see. You guys like to send me videos just like, what the hell is he talking about? This happens a lot on the videos that we watch. The title starts off somewhere and then all of a sudden he's talking about something. What the hell is he talking about? What the hell is he talking about?
At a fast food restaurant.
Why is he talking about fast food? This makes me mad. I hate when people do this.
Don't have to go to corporate. You don't have to go work at a retail store to get your money up. There's people like me who literally run online stores. It takes 1 hour a day, and I'm in a Lambo, bro. I'm 8.
What the hell is he talking about? What is the point of this video? Is he talking to girls or is he talking to guys? Who is he talking to? I thought this video was about helping girls understand why they get ghosted. He's talking about a fast food restaurant and the fact that he's sitting in a Lambo. I told you guys at the... nothing gets past me. I told you guys at the beginning, he's leaning extra. I was like, why the hell he leaning so much? He's leaning all the way over. Ain't no need to lean that much over to take your video. Quite convenient, that lean. Now he's talking about having a Lamborghini. What does this do?
Yep. There's people like me who literally run online stores. It takes 1 hour a day, and I'm in a Lambo, bro. I'm 18, and I'll teach you how to do the exact same thing
He's 18. Let's go to the next video. He has no idea what he's talking about. And no 18-year-old gonna give no advice on the relationship. He's 18. Brother just came out of the womb talking about relationships. He's still sucking on the mommy's boobies.
Okay. Oh, I'm using the wrong color concealer, so I need you to hear this and not look at me when I say this. If this person likes you, you can't really fuck it up. I mean, if you like sleep with their brother, yeah, you could definitely fuck it up. If you get violent when you have an alcohol or something, yeah, you could fuck that up. But I mean in general, just like being yourself.
Chat, I don't know, is her concealer bad? Is it because it's a slightly different color?
Or like if you say something cringe, or like if you fall down a stairs if you fall down a flight of stairs or something, you know, like you can't really fuck it up if they like you, you know. So like send the corny meme or ask the risky question. Wait, again, I've said
what is... No, don't... What?
Before, and I'll say it again. I do wonder who I'm empowering with these videos, but if you want to say something like cute and funny or whatever, and you're like, no, you know, I don't want to be cringy. If they like you, you can't really fuck it up. Okay? And I like you. We've been talking to each other for a long time, and you haven't fucked it up with me. So
that works until it doesn't work. Okay? Trust me, you can always mess it up. Be strategic. If you like someone and you want this to go somewhere, be strategic, be smart, and do the things that actually will get you the results that you're looking for. Remember, you're thinking long term. And so there is a strategy and a skill set required to build interest. Keep interest and continue it to be increasing over time. That requires a skill set and strategy. It's not just show up, do whatever I want, say whatever I want, and you can get to where you need to be. And actually, I would love, I mean, if she was a part of our show, listening all the time, she would have seen one of our Discord stories. By the way, send in your Discord questions now before we get to it. She would have seen one of our Discord stories where someone talked about a guy who was basically in love with her since they were in high school. And then one night she got super drunk with him, slept with him, and was basically obnoxious and essentially ruined her image in his eyes. And after that, he never treated her the same ever again, after basically treating her so well and being so in love with her for years. And she messed it all up in one night of being drunk, like really drunk, obnoxious, and then sleeping with him for the first time and multiple times throughout that trip. You can mess it up, I promise you, and I assure you. Okay, that goes for anyone. So I don't know why she said that. Okay, it's not that you have to be on eggshells, but there is a strategy to like being desirable and being attractive. It's not just do whatever I want whenever I want. Okay, unfortunately,
you can't really fuck it up.
But I guess for her, I guess.
So you meet this guy online. Y'all talk for about 3-4.
Wasn't she just in our chat? I swear I saw someone who had the same profile picture looking just like her.
Weeks on the regular, 2, 3, 4 times a day sometimes. After a couple weeks, he decides he's going to invite you to dinner. You agree. Okay, cool. A couple days before the date, he tells you he ain't got no car. You say, no problem, I'll come by and get you. When you get to his house to pick him up, he comes outside. He has on sweatpants, a t-shirt, and a pair of flip-flops. You look at him and say, I thought we was going to dinner. He then informs you at that time he has decided that it's better for y'all to do takeout and come back to his house, because that way y'all can talk and get to know each other on a different level without interruptions. You say, okay. Now the takeout menu of choice that he chooses is Taco Bell. Okay. When you get to the order board, he orders 2 taco boxes. You know, the ones that got like 10 tacos in them? Okay, he orders 2 and 2 large drinks. Okay. As you pull around to the window to pay, he patting his pants and he goes, "Ooh, I think I forgot my wallet." You say, okay, no problem. So you pay. Y'all get back to his house. He invites you in, takes you to the kitchen, and tells you to have a seat. He's going to wash his hands. He'll be back. You sit down at the table. You start getting things ready. You're sipping on your large drink. And in walks his mama, his daddy, and his grandma. They sit down at the table. They start eating the tacos. His grandmama look you dead in your face and say, "Hey, thanks for dinner." Okay. So when you leave there, you get in your car and you call me, your friend. You're telling me what happened. Okay. After you finish telling me the story, as your friend, I said, "Wow, that's a lot for a first date, and even worse for a last date." That's what I said. I said, but then you out $25, $30, but that's a small price to pay to save you from all them red flags and toxic behavior. You then say, "What you mean?" I say, "What you mean? What do I mean?" You said, "Well, what you mean?" I said, $25, $30 is a small price to pay that's going to save you from all them red flags he just threw on the field. You look at you say to me, I like him. Wait, what? You say, I like him. I'm just going to chalk this up to he's having a bad week. Oh. So I say to you as your friend, I said, so everything that just happened, you good with it, right? You say, yeah, I like him. So I say as your friend, I said, "Friend, you know I love you." You say, "Yeah, I know." I said, "You know I stand on business, right?" You say, "Yeah, I know." I said, "So let me say this to you. You will never be able to call me and complain to me about this guy. Now, let me be clear. You have the right to date whoever you want to date. That's your business. That's not my business. That's your business. But I'm telling you as your friend, and I'm going to touch your hand through the phone when I say this. You can never call me and complain about this guy, because if you do, what I'm going to do is hold your hand through the phone and bring your remembrance back to this conversation. Now, you get mad at me and tell me how unsupportive I am as a friend because you really like the guy.
Don't be that friend, okay? Don't be that friend. Get good at when you start dating guys, gathering that information and quickly deciding for yourself is not what I'm looking for. Okay, is not what I'm looking for. Don't be in a position also where you're so desperate that you feel the need to tolerate stuff that you just like know you shouldn't be tolerating. Okay, and I also this is where I see people say that's why you have a roster of people, because then you can just move on to the next one. Okay, but see, this is kind of part of the problem as well. This is where the paradox kind of starts, because when you're dating multiple people, it makes it easier to tolerate this than when it's just the one person, because then when you're stomaching it and you're feeling it and you're going through it, you're like, this is really bad, right? But my point being is that I just don't think that sounds like a horror story, but I promise you, when you're down bad, or you feel like you have no other options, or you feel like, oh, I just need a situation to work, you start lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering your standards. And I try my best to be here every single day to remind you to never do that. Please never. Oh,
I hate dating.
He mad.
A lot of men measure a woman's love for them by that woman's willingness to accept their disrespect.
God, yes, I've been saying this for the longest time. Men do not fantasize about treating women well. They want to treat them as badly as possible. And it's
okay, I wouldn't go that far, but definitely men who can take advantage of you will. Okay.
partly for their ego, and it's partly about revenge. But first, go follow Mika, this creator. She's so great. Love her. Let me break it down. Every man on earth knows you can get a woman by being nice. But they consider that cheating. They think it's a cheat code. That's why they call the men who do it simps and white knights. Oh yeah, you're only with her. You only pulled this great girl because you gave her flowers and you were kind to her.
Again, I'll disagree, because that nice guys actually finish last. Okay, so if I was advising guys, you have to have a combination of like actually, respecting yourself and not just being overly nice, where also other people feel like they can walk all over you. Nobody's attracted to someone that they can walk all over. Okay, but let's go on.
They think it's a real test of manhood who can pull when you're being disgusting to women, when you're treating them like garbage. Because they care about male approval, not our approval, guys. And they're in competition with each other to see who can be the worst of the worst and still get the girls.
Okay, some things she's saying are truthful. Some of her logic is a bit misguided. Their reasoning for doing that, yes, the competition, yes, they want to high five, say, I'm the best, I'm better than you, you're a peasant beneath my feet. But it's not to show I can be the worst of the worst. It's simply the competition of who can get the most girls, okay? But how you do that is really irrelevant. You understand what I'm saying? It's the result that's relevant.
This is why they follow the red pill guys and the gaming guys who want to give them all the inside tips and tricks on how to manipulate women, how to gaslight women.
What gaming guys are giving other guys tips and tricks on women? I would never be taking tips and tricks on women for a guy who games. Anyways.
How to break down their self-esteem, how to give and take back and do the push, pull, breadcrumbing, etc. and still get the girls. That's what makes them feel powerful and in control. And that brings us to the other half, their ego. Men want to be able to treat women badly and still have those women be down for them because they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed about the time that they were craven. They were low and they were down bad for some girl and they feel like she took advantage of them.
I thought this is why when I start breaking down people's opinions and perspectives, it stops making sense, because earlier she just finished saying that guys realize it's a cheat code to be nice to women. And when you're nice to women, then that easily gets them to like you. In fact, let's play it so you guys don't think I'm putting words in her mouth. She said it, where did it go? Right around.
Girl, because you, but they consider that cheating. They think it's a cheat code. That's why they call the men who do it simps and white knights. Oh yeah, you're only with her. You only pulled this great girl because you gave her flowers and you were kind to her. They think it's a real test of manhood who can pull when you're being disgusting to women.
Okay, so she's saying that it's a cheat code to get women by being nice to them, but then she's also saying here
she took advantage of them. In reality, she was probably, they're embarrassed about the time that they were craven. They were low and they were down bad for some girl and they feel like she took advantage of them.
But I thought being nice to the girls and being down bad for them and being simps works. I thought that was the cheat code. I don't mind people having their own opinions and perspectives, but then I also ask questions. You know, like I want the points to actually make sense and connect.
Reality, she was probably living her life, not knowing this person existed, and he probably never asked her on a real date. But so many men are carrying around hurt from the girl in high school who didn't know his name, or the one who he gave everything to in his opinion, who didn't return his feelings. And he feels like, wow, I did so much for her, and she never even acknowledged my existence. And now he wants to redistribute the pain. Rather than going to fucking therapy, where these men belong, they want to make women pay for the time that their feelings were not acknowledged. And men will tell you straight up, I don't do X, Y, and Z anymore because I did it in the past and that girl didn't appreciate me. And, my high school girlfriend cheated on me. And, my kindergarten girlfriend wouldn't take a nap on the same mat as me. And I'll never trust you hoes again. Bruh, seek help. But they figure now it's their time to shine, and they consider it a badge of honor if they can get a woman to stay with them through cheating, through mistreatment, through abuse. The worse they can treat a woman and she still stays, the more they think, I am really the guy. I'm the stuff. I'm hot stuff because...
Okay, I'm just going to end it here because I think that some of the things she's saying are truthful, but they're truthful for a different reason than what she's talking about. And I, not to cast any aspersions, I think she's speaking a little bit from her own experience and projecting it onto everyone's situation. Because the truth of the matter is, whether it's me or anyone else, I will never sit here and tell you that every guy on this planet Earth is simply looking to do you as horrible as they possibly can and make you the scum beneath their feet and step on you. And that's not what I'm saying. Okay. But what I want you to understand is in the process of dating men, you will come across men who will take advantage of you if you allow them to. And while men are opportunists, so they don't have any particular investment in oh, I want to treat you bad or I want your life to be horrible, but they're opportunists from the sense that if they come into your life and they see that you're more than willing to give and not receive anything in return and you have no standards, then yeah, they'll take advantage of that. A lot of them will. And they'll stay with you as long as you continue to allow them to take advantage of you. Are you following what I'm saying? So when we're talking about microwave men that are looking for something really easy and quick, they'll go around in search for the women who are going to give it to them easy and quick and not make them work for it, that they can be opportunists with. Now, it's all about the result. It's not really about, oh, I want to hurt you so badly and do this to you. It's about the result of receiving when I put nothing into you. That's an opportunist mindset. Are you following what I'm saying? And so I think that in her mind, because she's had that done to her, she believes that it's because the men are seeking the most evil, they have the most evil intention of just absolutely destroying your life, okay? They might actually destroy your life, so that can be true. But their reasoning for doing that is not always necessarily, just because they seek you out and they want to destroy your life. It's simply because they just want to extract and extract and extract and extract as much as possible without ever giving in return. And if they can continue to extract, they will do that. Are you following what I'm saying? But I don't want you guys, the reason I don't like to play videos like this is because I don't want you guys developing the mindset that all men are bad. What I want you to do is develop a mindset in which before I decide that you're the man that I'm looking for, I will gather information, take my time, observe, receive a little bit, right? Analyze the information that I receive in all different aspects and ways, and then I will make an educated decision on who you actually are and if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Because there are good, amazing men, and there are also horrible, bad men. There's lots of both sides. You just have to determine which one am I meeting and which one am I actually dating. Okay, because you're only looking for a particular type of one. Okay, but I don't like these ones where, oh, all the men in the world do all the most horrible things and they're so evil, because when that becomes your mindset, that's all you'll see. Okay, we want you spotting the bad men, but we don't want you of the belief that all men are only bad. That's not like you're attracted to men, aren't you? Like, so you can't have the belief that there's no good men out there. That's not really going to work for you. Let me make sure that we get to. Oh, let me refresh my page here, because I had some more that I sent to myself that you guys sent to me, and I wanted to make sure we get a chance to watch all of these. Let me just make sure.
Hi, baby.
Let me just make sure that I save all of these for you beautiful people, and we watch some more. We're gonna scroll on TikTok together. We're gonna watch some more and some more and some more and some more and some more. All right, let's go to our next one. Who's our next one here? Where did it go? Come on now. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Let me see here. Let me go to the right page here. In the meantime, is there one that we didn't get a chance to watch here? No, I think we did all of those. Okay, yeah. I'll save these here. We got one from okay.
I have 3 things to text the guy that was pursuing you or
there we go.
he was interested.
Shh. Don't ruin it for them. Let's go to our next one here, which comes from Benny.
Ladies, if you are looking for commitment from him, you should be the one to bring up commitment. And part of the reason is, ladies, you guys are not in the driver's seat of your own car. You put yourself in the passenger seat, and you end up in these situationships that are 8, 9, 13, 36 months because you have a story on the way this should go. He should ask. No, he should not. His timing is not like your timing. If you need to focus and buckle down on the things you want when it comes to dating, you need to let it be known, hey, listen, we should either have this, and if we can't, I gotta be out. And then you have to leave because you don't have the time to waste and play games. He may have the time, ladies. He's on a different time clock. His ain't winding down. It might be winding up. And if you need to get out here and focus, stop playing games, girl. You need to bring it up at the moment you feel like, hey, listen, I'm looking for commitment. You should be bringing it up. Don't be waiting for him because you are putting yourself in a passenger seat. You need to take control. You don't have any control anymore. You've lost it. Too passive and wasting too much time on a situation with a man that wasn't going to commit to you in the first place because you had too much pride and ego and too much fear to bring it up. Get your ass out of the back seat of your own car, get your ass out of the passenger seat, and put a focus on this thing like a goddamn bald eagle and start coming to the table what you are looking for, and stop being so fearful of doing it and having this story of listen to everybody else telling you, no, he should be the one, he should be the one, he should be the one. His time ain't the same, and if he's already getting girlfriend from you, why would he initiate that conversation? He's not thinking like that. That's not how he's thinking about this, unless he thinks, well, I like her in my life a lot. Nothing changes in his life if he asks you for commitment. If he's already getting girlfriend, get yourself in the goddamn front. Put yourself back in.
Benny is like one of the. He's like you know those actors that sometimes they have like really, really good movies that hit it out the park. But then sometimes they have really, really bad movies, and you're just like, how do you go from really good to really bad that easily? Like, it's like one movie is really amazing, one movie is really horrible. Benny's like that for me. Sometimes he says stuff, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's facts. And then sometimes some of the stuff he says, I'll be like, I don't agree with that at all. This is one of those, I don't agree with this at all. I actually think in many ways that this will hurt you if you try to do this. Not that bringing up commitment inherently is bad. But here's the reality of it. A lot of times when you're dating a guy, and you just come out and there's no, so when you first start dating a guy, there's nothing wrong with being clear about the fact that, like, yeah, obviously you're looking for something serious. That's so generic, so basic, and it doesn't mean anything. That's fine to say at the beginning. But as the relationship goes on, you should not continuously feel it's necessary to bring up the fact that you're looking for commitment. Because at that point, if you're continuing to have to bring it up, that means there's a lack of commitment that he's showing on his side, which means that you're using the fact that you need to bring up commitment to try to stimulate him to commit to you, which is wrong. Because what's going to happen is as you continue bringing up commitment, he's just going to keep saying, me too, me too, me too. And you're going to be like, oh, because you say me too, you must feel the same as me. And you're going to be thinking, okay, well, he's definitely going to ask me out in the next couple of weeks because we're on the same page. Meanwhile, you're not on the same page. And instead of observing his actions, you'll be more focused on his response to you bringing up commitment. And this is where you can start to make a lot of mistakes. Because if you listen to Benny and you bring commitment to the table and you're like, I'm looking for commitment. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. What the guys who want something from you will say is, cool, me too. You're looking for something serious. Cool, me too. You want this and that and this. Cool, me too. They'll play along. And then when they get what they want from you, they'll be like, you know how I said I was looking for commitment, me too? I realized that I actually meant me like too much not think about it a lot. And so now that I actually got a chance to think about it because I busted a nut and busted out some brain cells, I actually realized maybe commitment isn't what I'm looking for anymore, okay? So what you need to do instead of listening to his words when you bring up commitment is you should be observing his actions, okay? And you should be receiving those actions throughout the course of time to actually see if he's really serious about commitment. Do you see your relationship escalating and the intensity of your relationship escalating? A great way to gauge if commitment is coming is if the intensity of your relationship ramps up over time. If the intensity of your relationship is going like this over time, commitment is not coming. It should be going like this over time for commitment to come, because as the intensity ramps up, then you guys take it to another level and another level and another level and another level. So you actually don't really need to bring commitment up because it becomes clear and obvious when you start observing, okay? And honestly, the more you bring it up, the easier it is for men to just say me too, and you'll be confused because you'll be listening to words instead of paying attention to actions and observing them. See, that's the thing that I don't want you to start doing, is allowing guys to talk a big game, talk their way into your pants, and you're convinced that it's true because they say it. What I want you to start doing is observing their actions, combining what they say to you with those actions, and observing everything that's going on, and then making decisions based on what you observe, not just what you hear him say to you and hear him yap to you, okay? What the hell? My God. I don't want to get copywritten. Men are turned off by stress. Females are turned off by inconsistency. But if he's consistent, she'll never have a reason to stress him. Sure.
Christian, I'm really confused because my ex is now with someone who isn't even beautiful and they're about to get married. I waited years for marriage with him and I'm really struggling. Okay, so if you're just talking about beauty, you're already lost. Men are drowning in beauty. They can go on Instagram and look at pretty girls. You do not stand out because you're pretty. You stand out when you have goddess energy. I live in LA. Everyone's hot here. The hot girls with no goddess energy, they're getting taken on 3-day trips, pumped and dumped, and never spoken to again after they're shipped home. They're getting taken to fancy dinners, wined and dined, banged after dessert, and never spoken to again. Beauty gets your foot in the door. You need to be as pretty as possible, but it does not lock a man down. Goddess energy does. Your confidence, your willingness to walk away. He has to know you would be willing to walk away. Your refusal to chase a man. That is goddess energy. I had a friend who was seeing a guy and he dropped her and got with someone else, and my friend tried coming to me to talk about how the new girl wasn't as hot as her and what was he thinking, and I said, whoa, see, this new girl is probably more embodied in her goddess energy. She's willing to leave if he messes up so he respects her. You were a pushover. So what she lacks in looks, she makes up for in goddess energy. So to him, she's hotter than you. That shut my friend up real quick. He can find beauty everywhere. He cannot find goddess energy, so step into it. Christian, I'm really confused because my ex is now with someone.
Christian's funny. I like Christian. So here's the thing. Everything he actually said here is correct. And that's what I actually want you rid yourself of the mind frame and mind state that you think it's all about your dump truck and your yitties, and that's how you attract men, and those are the only girls getting princess treatment. Truthfully, you can be a average or regular girl and get princess treatment. Okay, you don't need to have the biggest dump truck. You don't need to have the most voluptuous yitties, and you can still get princess treatment just as much as all the other girls. And I'm gonna tell you this as someone who lives in Toronto. So Toronto's like a big city. Like, I don't know where he said he lives in LA. There's a lot of hot people in Toronto. There's a lot of hot people. Okay, a lot of hot people, and probably even more than LA maybe. And here's the thing: prettiness only gets you so far. Especially when it comes to like guys actually wanting to commit to you, because there's actually a lot of beautiful people in Toronto, and if you're so hyper focused on that, thinking that that's what's gonna actually make guys want to be with you, then you're gonna be misguided, and you're gonna be losing a lot. So there's a lot of beautiful women even in my city as well in Toronto that get pumped and dumped, like he said. They get put on yachts. We call them like fillers. So when you're having a party or you're having an event, you bring the fillers in, which is just like beautiful women that can just be there to create ambiance. Okay, it's not to be disrespectful, but I'm just speaking to you how like guys really talk about it. Okay, right? If you want to have a good party, you gotta have beautiful women there. That's like part of the ambiance. And if they're not there, it's not really going to be a good party. And so I say that to say that's not what is going to separate you from other women. Okay, and this is why we talk about everything as it relates to the emotions, the way that you make a guy feel, being able to receive information, give it back to him, plant seeds within him, because all of that stuff is what really gets him emotionally invested in you. Okay, pretty girls are everywhere. Okay, and pretty girls are amazing, but being pretty is not what's going to keep your man actually desiring you and chasing after you and giving you princess treatment, unfortunately. Actually, I shouldn't even say unfortunately, because that's fortunately, because the way you make a guy feel and all the emotional and spiritual stuff is stuff that you can control. Okay, because for some of you, you might be like, well, Tomisin, I can't have any of a bigger dump truck. I have no hips. Tomisin, I can't have voluptuous CDs. I just wasn't blessed with that. Tomisin, I can't have an amazing jawline. That's just not my thing. I can't be blonde. I can't have blue eyes. Exactly. And you don't need that to get princess treatment, which is actually the great part. That's what should make you the happiest. When you hear this, you should be head over heels, happy, overjoyed, because now you know you can still get everything you want out of a relationship and out of a guy without having to not be in control of certain aspects of yourself that you just have no control over. Are you following what I'm saying? So that's actually good news. Okay, good news. Good news for all of us. All right, let's go to our next one.
Hi, baby. He's looking at
She's talking to me.
the girls on Instagram, huh? And he's liking them, and maybe he's even messaging them, and you've told him that you don't like it, and it hurts you, and you've cried, and you've told him in all kinds of ways. These are the three things you're going to do. Thing number one, you're going to have a last conversation with him. You're not going to scream, you're not going to nag, you're not going to shout. You're going to be in your power, in your feminine, divine energy. You're going to talk calmly, you're going to know what you're going to say. You're going to tell him how much it hurts you, how he needs to stop if the relationship with you is important, and why he needs to stop. That despite him saying it's just work, it's just friends. Well, if it's just that, then it should be just so easy for you to stop. You're going to communicate that to him, and then you're going to drop it. You're going to leave it. Because in order for you to see the reality of this person and his true behavior, you need to let them free. You need to let them be free range and to observe if they're ready for you. Second step, you're going to get a book, a journal, your notepad, and your phone, and you're going to write down everything he does. Good things, bad things, and especially what he does to do with this behavior. You're going to document it, because in the throes of apologies or passion or forgetting it, you might forget. Step number 3, you in these 3 months that you're writing down what he does are going to become the goddess that you are meant to be. The things you wanted to do, that book you want to write, that body you want to get, the healthy food you want to eat, those friends you want to connect with, you're going to do that or start to plan it in these 3 months. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have time to waste. The likelihood that you were even born is ridiculous. Imagine all the people that had to survive before modern medicine for you to even be alive. Do you imagine the generations that had to exist before you to be here? And you're going to waste your time going on at this person? No. So at the end of the 3 months, you're going to have a list of everything he's done and not done. You're also going to be in love with your life. You're going to be obsessed with your journey. This is exciting. You've just opened up the new trajectory and a new universe into where you're going. Now, you're going to look back at your list. Maybe he just didn't get it. This person is now changed. He's observed you. He's thought, oh my God, she's told me. I understand. And happily ever after. Great, Bob's your uncle. Or he's carried on disrespecting you. But from where you are now, from the woman that you've become, it's going to be so much easier to see, because he's going to look so small compared to this big universe that you've opened up for yourself. And all the facts are going to be written down of who he truly is. And now, why don't I say just leave him? Because if just leave him was a solution, then my whole channel and everyone's channel and every book would be called Just Leave Him. But that's not how women are, and that's not how we feel, because we work on stuff.
I like Margarita, man. She's real. She's actually for real, for real. And I agree with her a lot. I gotta have Margarita on the show. She actually follows me on TikTok. I gotta have her on the show. What Margarita said is very factual. So one of the things that you notice that I say whenever you notice a guy's behavior is not how you want it to be, and I tell you to withdraw, it's because when a guy has interest in you, or he actually likes you, or actually cares about the fact that you've withdrawn, he will come to you and say, hey, what's wrong? Or what's bothering you? Or what's the reason things have changed in our relationship? Then you can, depending on the situation, you can express to him what has been bothering you and the standards that you have for yourself if you're going to be with someone. You don't have to say you got to change this and you got to change that. You just tell him what your standards are for anyone that's going to be with you. And basically you withdraw yourself if you don't see those things. Then you leave it alone and you allow those men to come to their own decision on whether or not they want to be who you need them to be, or if that's too much for them. Okay. And you have to get good at allowing men to be who they really want to be. Don't get obsessed with trying to force them to be your man because you desperately want a relationship with them to work. Get good at allowing men to show you who they are. That way, by the time you end up in a relationship with them, you're not in a relationship with someone who you had to change or mold to be this person. You're with the person you were actually looking for the entire time, right? It's a lot easier and a lot smoother of a relationship when you can do it that way, okay? Someone says they come back. Not all the time. Sometimes you're going to do this and what she just recommended in this video, and you're going to realize after you withdraw that the guy doesn't even come back, like she said at the end. But you still, when you do all of the work, like she mentioned, the journaling, that becoming the woman that you really want to be, you still end up in a better place, because instead of channeling, what she's talking about there specifically is how to channel your energy in the right place. Because when you're in pain, because the guy that you like doesn't show up for you how you want him to, that's a lot of pain. And when you're feeling that pain and you're crying and you're sad, that's energy, okay? But you can take that energy and you can shift it into a different area of your life. And that way, instead of you just having that energy and you're pain and you're crying and you're sad and you're bawling your eyes out, that energy gets channeled back into you instead of being into him. And then by the time the relationship is over and you've invested that energy into you instead of giving it to him, you're in a better position in your life. And when you look in the mirror, you feel like you've actually gained something not being with him, because you took that energy and you put it into you, instead of feeling like you lost something by not being with him. Okay, does that make sense? All right, guys, let's go into our next segment of the day. It's an amazing segment. You guys better spam up for me in the chat what time it is. I want to know in the chat what time it is. I want to know in the chat what time it is. You better tell me in the chat what time it is. I want to know in the chat what time it is. It's an amazing time. It's a great time. It's a great time. It's an amazing time. It's a great time. It's a great time. Okay. Don't look at your clock. Don't look at your watch. Don't look at your phone. Don't look nowhere else in your home. If you don't know what time it is, I'm going to tell you what time Okay. Chat, let's hop right into our Discord time for those of you who are new here and you don't know what that is. I'll explain it to you real quick. So Discord time is where all our amazing members of our Discord community and our Players Club community get an opportunity to ask me a question about their relationship or their situationship, and I answer it live on the show. Now, there's a couple different ways that you're going to be able to submit your question, and I'm going to break these different ways down for you right now if this would go a little bit faster. So the first way to do that is by submitting your question into our free relationship advice section, which is available by going into my link in my bio on TikTok or the link in my description on YouTube. You join the Discord and you get into where it says free relationship advice, just regular relationship advice, and you can put your question in our forum here. Now, as you can see, when you put your question into our forum, there's a whole bunch of highlighted questions. These are questions I haven't gotten to yet, and I have to answer them on a first come, first serve basis. So I have to go to the oldest questions first before I can answer the newer questions. Let me just exit this out because this is freezing on me. And why is this? Hold on, chat. Let me close this down and then open it back up because Discord acting a fool today, freezing on me. All right, so this is the free section. So as you can see, when I scroll down and all these highlighted questions, these are questions I haven't got to yet. So if you ask your question today, it is going to take me a few days to get to your question. I think something glitched here because my questions are a little bit older than that. The questions that I haven't got to, they're like 15, 14, I think 18 days old. I don't know why this is freezing up. Sorry, chat. Let me just let me close this out again and get this to stop freezing on me. Okay. So if you have a question, you can ask it in the free section, but it does take me a while to get to your question because I have a lot to answer and I have to get to the older ones first. So if you ask your question right now, it's going to take me a couple weeks to get to your question. If you are so impatient that you don't want to wait for me to answer your question and you don't want to wait those couple of weeks, that's perfectly fine. I have another option for you to ask questions, and you go over into our Discord premium relationship advice section, and there you get an opportunity to skip the line of people because I answer these questions first before I go into the free section. Now, the way you get access to the Discord premium relationship advice is by going into my link in my bio on TikTok or the link in my description on YouTube. And then when you click that, you're going to be able to click where it says premium relationship advice. And then when you click premium relationship advice, it'll prompt you to put your Discord message, the title of your message, and your username. And then when you put that in the chat, in the donation, and you send in your donation, it gets me a notification, and it tells me that that's you and that's your question. And that way I can verify that you're supposed to be in the premium Discord section and you're not just, randomly putting your question in there so that I'll answer it without actually, being fair to everyone. That way people aren't skipping that aren't supposed to. Now, lastly, for those of you who, want to ask me a question, but you don't want to have your relationship all for everyone to see, you have another option here, which is to put your, send your relationship question directly to me through our private relationship section. I've built a website where you guys can ask me your question directly if you don't want it to be live on the show for everyone to see. You get that same access. It's in the Discord as well, and it's also available when you go to those links that I told you in my TikTok and in my YouTube description. You can see ask a private question. You click that, you just click ask, and then you type your question, you send it to me. It immediately sends with your donation to the show, and then I'm able to send you back a voice message with through your email, and then I answer your question and nobody else sees it except for me. Okay, so let's hop right into our first premium relationship advice question here, and we'll get this thing going. Okay, so let's start off with, what the heck? Oh no, this is our example question. I was like, what? Don't mind our example question, okay? And don't mind if it's a little bit glitchy today. Clearly, my Discord wants to be a little bit glitchy today. So let's start off with sexy pink girl. Her question is pineapples gone wrong. Okay. Sexy Girl says, hi, Tomisin. Thank you for starting the Players Club. I hope that you will travel to the States one day for a meet and greet. Maybe one day. I have two unrelated or possibly related questions. Short questions, but wanted to donate so you could get to it quickly, and I didn't want to do private in case anyone is in a similar situation. Thank you for being so helpful. I am 34 and pretty successful in my career. I make 200K plus USD. You ballin'. I've worked since I was 18, and I can admit that this has changed my personality as a whole. I am a very serious professional individual, even in my personal life, and it's just how I am. Nothing wrong with that. How do I navigate this in dating? How do I find successful? How do men find successful women unattractive? Absolutely not. However, I will say that men who are, if you are successful women, a lot of men who are unsuccessful, which is a lot of men, will find it intimidating to date someone who is more successful than them and in a better place in their life than them. My advice to you is to never date a man who is less successful than you, or at least not on a similar level than you, simply because he will, out of your control, he will always feel emasculated by being with you, knowing that you're, higher than him and in a better place than him. And he'll take offense to the fact that you're just being you. And obviously you can't control that. And you're not meant to be dimming your light for anyone. And so you should be avoiding men who are probably making less money than you and probably not in the same career place as you. You should probably be avoiding all of those men, simply because all of those men will be feel threatened by the fact that you're so successful and in the place that you are in your life. You're better off dating men on an equal playing field to you or above you. That way, there's no question of them feeling emasculated simply by you just being yourself. Okay? Because you're thinking, I'm making 200K and I'm doing well for myself. And when he hears you say that and he's got a 40K minimum wage job, he's like offended that you're making 200K a year and he feels emasculated. Meanwhile, you're just being yourself. I had pineapples with the guy over a year ago and cannot get this experience out of my mind. I had not had pineapples since I was abstinent for a while before him. He is 29 and we both stay in two different states. We have chatted here and there after, but nothing too serious. I know through your show that obviously he's not interested in anything serious, so I don't reach out or anything. Good. Excuse me. My question is, do you think there could have... What was that? That was weird. What was that? Is that my phone? Do you think... That was weird. Did you guys hear that? It was like a ghost. He is 29. We have chatted. My question is, do you think... Oh, it was Siri. Oh, I was like, what? Stop that. I know through your show that obviously he's not interested. My question is, do you think there could have been some interest from his end, but he knows we can never get serious? How should I proceed now? Should I reach out and express feelings? Am I crazy? I guess I just want closure, but not sure how to get it. LOL. Thanks, Tomisin. So here's the thing you got to understand. Sometimes you're just not going to get closure, and that's okay. You can't be hoping for closure before you move on with your life. Sometimes the guys that you're dating are not going to give you closure, and you just have to understand that your life still goes on and is still amazing whether he gives you closure or not, okay? And in a situation like this, if he has shown you that he doesn't have the interest level required to actually be in a serious relationship with you, don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about what he thinks about you. Don't worry about how he feels about that. Don't worry about what he's going through. Just worry about the fact that the result of whatever it is that's going on with him is that he can't be in a serious long-term relationship with you. All you care about is building a serious long-term relationship for your future. So if you meet a man that is great, you get along with him and things are fun for a little bit, however, he can't build a serious long-term relationship with you, throw that man in the garbage, okay? I'm not trying to diss him, but you just can't worry. You can't spend any energy, any energy. You only have a finite amount of your energy. You can't spend any of it worrying about people who you're not building with. Guys who are not taking you seriously, guys who are playing games, guys who are unsure about what they want, don't worry your precious energy and brain space about them. Why? Because it's a waste of it. I want you looking forward to the future and thinking, how can I strategize to better find the person I'm actually looking for long term? This guy, for whatever reason, either he doesn't have the level of interest required or whatever he's going through, he can't be the guy that you need. Cool. Once you realize that, you want to start getting good at having short-term memory. When you date a guy, you date him and you evaluate, where is he at? What is his interest level? Is he who I'm looking for? Once you realize that the answer to that question is no, you erase him from your mind. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what you got to start getting good at. Right? Is like, yo, I'm sifting through here to find what I'm looking for. If you're not what I'm looking for, cool, please get to the side because I'm trying to hurry up and get to where I'm supposed to be, which is with the man that I actually want. If you're a garbage, silly, unsure man, please get over somewhere. You're a soy boy, you're too shy to ask me out on a date, you can't be a big dog, please go in the corner. You can wank off to me being with the big dog because that's who I'm going to be spending my time and energy on. I'm not going to worry about the shy boys. I'm not going to worry about the soy boys. I'm not going to worry about the ones who barely have interest or need me to motivate them or need me to like ask them to take me out on a date and stuff. No, I'm going to be with the big dog and that's it. That's all. That's the only type of guy that's going to get my energy or focus. So I know that your question was, what does he think and what does he want and how should I proceed? The way you proceed is moving forward and not spending your time thinking about a guy who couldn't be bothered to build a serious relationship with you or have the desire to build a serious relationship with you. Because at the end of the day, what he thinks about you is completely irrelevant. And it's a waste of your energy to even be thinking about what he thinks about you when the relationship is going nowhere. Okay, let's go to our next question here. If this thing can actually do it, and we'll answer. This one comes from D. So D says, "Did I royally mess this up?" D says, "I should go ahead and just change my username to Anxious Annie at this point." Okay. I'm the one who had a question earlier in the week about the red flags or anxious attachment and the guy who said he had project commitments before traveling internationally, okay? After 5 days of not hearing from him, I sent a where'd you disappear to text. You'll never guess what he replied. He replied that he hadn't disappeared and that he's just been busy. So the typical answer that they all answer. I responded that I understand being busy, but I was starting to question if our oh no. Why did you say that? Why did you say that? I was starting to question if our interest level was the same. That was the worst thing you could have said. For context, I'm finishing my PhD, so I get being busy. Okay, so then just relax. He responded with a facepalm emoji and then said the next 2 to 3 days are very busy and important to him and that he needed to focus and unload things off his plate. Okay, so when guys tell you this, just back off. I know that you like him. I know that you want him. Whether or not he's telling you the truth, if this is an excuse or the absolute honest truth, back off. And I mean that in the kindest way. And I mean that because you need to understand you telling him that you want him to talk to him more is not going to make him do that. And he's essentially telling you, even though you're telling me you want me to talk to you more, I'm still not going to do that because the next couple of my days are still going to be busy, which means I'm still not going to be reaching out to you. So what you need to do is take a step back and realize he has not forgotten of your existence. If he doesn't message you, there's a reason for it. Whether he's actually super busy or maybe he has lost interest, there's a reason for it. He clearly has made it clear he will reach out to you when he is ready and capable of doing that. You have to understand that's how guys are, and you can't overcomplicate that. I'm thinking he was referring to me as being one of those things. I don't think that that's what he meant. But let's go on. I didn't see his response until the morning, so I responded that I understood and just to reach out to me when he's able because I enjoy hearing from him. Okay. Did I royally mess this up? What's the likelihood that I will actually hear from him again? How can I fix this? Do I need to just sit and hope for the best outcome? What you need to do is you need to put your thumbs away. Put your thumbs away. Put the phone down. Because when you get anxious, and the days are going by, you're starting to feel like things are slipping away. I have to remind you of this. When you start dating a guy, especially when you've gone on multiple dates with him, he does not forget about you in the snap of a finger. If he does not message you, it's not because he's forgotten your name or forgotten your existence. It's either because he genuinely has things that he is doing and he just, doesn't have the capacity to be messaging you and stuff like that, or he doesn't have the interest required to actually reach out to you and message you. Either way, you have to accept that as the truth. If he doesn't message you because he doesn't have the interest in you, accept that as the truth and don't think that reaching out to him is going to magically make him interested in you. And if he doesn't message you because he's genuinely so busy that he's got this going on and that going on and he's got a lot on his plate, you need to realize that you messaging him is not going to make any less be on his plate, that he can actually have the ability to message you. So I just say that to say, D, in all of your anxiousness, what did reaching out to him actually end up doing for you? Nothing. What actually changed because you reached out to him and told him that, hey, I feel like you're losing interest and I feel like we're not on the same page anymore because you don't text me? Nothing. Nothing changed. And the reason I say that is because the next time you get anxious and you think about reaching out to him and texting him to kind of like, spark him, to get him to notice you or talk to you, realize that the same thing will happen, which is nothing. If you reach out to him before he's ready to reach out to you, he still won't end up talking to you because you reach out. So don't bother reaching out because nothing ends up changing. You're better off just sitting on your hands. I shouldn't even say sitting on your hands doing nothing. You're better off channeling your energy and focusing it into something else. And if he messages you, he will message you. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. I know that it's painful. And I know that it makes your blood boil and you just want to sit there and you want to text him and you want to figure out what's going on. You want to get this answer and you want to get that answer. But at the end of the day, when it comes to men, if they want to reach out to you, they are more than capable of doing that. He has your number. He knows where to find you. I'm pretty sure you went on multiple dates, so he knows where you live. He knows how to get in contact with you if he wanted to. So if he doesn't, that means he either doesn't have the capacity to, he's too busy to, or he just doesn't have interest in you too. Any one of those answers, you accept that as the truth and you move forward with that. Okay? You're not in the business of trying to convince him to like you or beg him to want to spend time with you. You absolutely, positively don't do that. So I'm going to give you very clear advice. For the rest of your future with this guy, do not ever text him and ask him where he disappeared to, what he's up to, or why he's not texting you. Don't ever do that again. If you notice he's pulling back from you, allow him to pull back as much as he needs to. And if he's ready to come and talk to you again, then he can come and talk to you again. If he's not ready to come and talk to you again, then he doesn't have to. And if he spends 2-3 weeks not talking to you, then you eventually just move on yourself and you don't allow him to come back from that. But you can't be sitting there messaging guys all the time and trying to get them to talk to you and notice you and want to spend time with you. That's not what you do, okay? Because you're not going to win that way. Let's go into our free section here where I can answer a few questions. I feel like some of these, so we did PR, we did Hanya, we did Erie. Okay, yeah. So then we're at F. So F said, scared to open up and confess my feelings. Okay, so let's see what F has to say here. Alrighty. What is going on here? Just give my slow computer a second. I'm going to get a new one. Scared to open up and confess my feelings. F says, hey, Tomisin, I am scared to confess my feelings to my boyfriend. I don't want to open up trauma dump and tell him I actually have feelings for him? I'm 25. He is 29. We have been officially together for a month, starting mid-July. He told me multiple times he loved me. The first time he said it, I didn't take him seriously because it was the beginning. He said it after 2 to 3 weeks in our talking stage. I am not dumb. I know it's love bombing. Then he officially made me his girlfriend and told me again he loved me. And I don't believe him. I don't know why. Because you're smart enough to know that you can't love someone within 3 weeks. Mind you that he shows me his love and affection for me every day, but I still can't believe it for some reason. And on the other hand, I can't tell him that I have feelings for him and I love him and be all cutesy and lovey and all that stuff. I don't know why I can't. Is it a good idea to let him know I have real feelings for him? Okay. If you're feeling that you can't tell your feelings to your boyfriend, you have a lot of problems here. And I'm going to say it simply, a lot of your problems are stemming from the fact that a man is now your boyfriend that you don't yet feel emotionally safe with. Okay? That's where a lot of this is stemming from. When you rush into something really fast, you're going to start feeling like where you're supposed to feel emotionally with that person doesn't align to like where you're actually at in terms of the stage you're at with that person, right? And so the example that I'll give you guys that should make sense to you guys is like Love is Blind. You know where on Love is Blind where they first meet each other for the first time? I have to watch the new season, by the way. Don't spoil it. You know how when they're doing Love is Blind and they're meeting each other for the first time and some of the couples are a little bit awkward meeting each other for the first time, even though like they're married now and they're a couple now and they're husband and wife now? It's because, and a lot of how sometimes their relationship will fall apart because like they're trying to make it work. And as they try, they're just like, I'm not really ready for this. This still makes me uncomfortable. And there's a little bit of like, hey, we're actually fiancés. And but I'm not in a fiance mindset with you because I feel like I'm just meeting you for the first time because now I'm seeing you and you're different than in the pods. And so I say that to say it's the same concept here. What's happening is because you got into a relationship with him so fast, you haven't actually had time to like know him, explore him, and understand him and feel emotionally safe with him because that only happens over the course of time. However, he's your boyfriend now. So you feel like there should be that level of emotional closeness. So what you're trying to say here is I'm not denying that you have feelings for him, but I feel like part of the reason that you're conflicted here is because you're not sure if those are like the feelings are real feelings or if those are feelings that you feel you should be feeling because that's your boyfriend, right? If you're saying that you don't believe him when he tells you that he loves you, that should tell you that deep within your soul, there's parts of you that don't believe that where you guys are saying you're at, boyfriend and girlfriend, is not where you're actually at emotionally. Right? You don't feel like you and him have the emotional depth of a boyfriend and girlfriend, which is why telling him your feelings and receiving that affection from him would make you feel uncomfortable. Because the reality of it is when a man that you're dating tells you that he loves you or, gives you affection, that should not make you uncomfortable if you're dating that man. That's not supposed to happen. And you also shouldn't feel uncomfortable telling your feelings of affection to a man that you're dating. And if that's the case, that should tell you there's a misalignment between where you're at in the relationship, where you guys are supposed to be at, and what you actually feel, like the emotional state you actually feel within you that's honest to you in the relationship. So I think if you want actionable items, I think the best thing for you to do, unfortunately, this is going to be tough. You're going to have to say, okay, I like you a lot, but I think we rushed into being boyfriend and girlfriend a little bit. And I actually think we need to take a step backwards so that we can build this thing properly at the pace that actually feels genuine to me. Because right now I'm a little bit conflicted and I feel like we don't know each other well enough to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I know that that's a painful conversation and that's an uncomfortable conversation. But see, here's the thing. If you don't speak up for how you really feel, then this is only the problem's only gonna increase and exacerbate itself. You can't like force yourself to feel emotionally safe with someone by just saying, well, that's my boyfriend now, I'm gonna make it work. It doesn't work like that. You have to first see, do I actually feel safe with you, comfortable with you? Do I like our relationship and feel like this is what I wanna be in? Then you get into a relationship because you actually wanna be in it. You don't get into a relationship and say, okay, now that we're here, I'm gonna force it to work. Are you following what I'm saying? Okay, let's go to our next question here. Okay, hopefully this will not take forever. Let's see. Wow, this is very glitchy. Our next question here comes from Rach. Okay, so we'll go and we'll do Rach's next. Okay. Rach says, not looking for, what does that say, relationship or situationship? Not looking for a relationship. Rach says, hello, I'm 31 and the same guy I'm interested in is 36. We matched on Hinge back in mid-January. Before we could meet, he went overseas for 4 weeks. At the time, we voice and video called each other once each. He also let me know he had a job in another country and will be moving shortly after returning. As I felt more interested in him based on the fact that he never initiated text while away, I decided it was pointless and ceased contact. He did not reach out either. Fast forward to late September, I'm visiting a friend in the city and now he lives in the city he now lives in, and decide to send him a text. He asked me out for the next day, and during that date, I found out he dated someone for 6 months. She lived in the same city as me, and she ended things with him the week prior. That should have been the end of your date. When you go on a date with someone, and when you go on a date with someone and they tell you that they ended their last relationship a week before, that is when you call the waiter, you say, waiter, please come. And you say, please, I needed to go box for this instantly. And they'll be like, you haven't even taken a bite of the food. Yes, but I'm leaving right now. So to go box for me, please, right now. And you walk away. As a result, he had not been sleeping well. So not only is the relationship, fresh still, he's not even getting good sleep because he's devastated. From what I gathered, he started talking to his girl around the same time as me, but they met before he moved and decided to date long distance. He made occasional trips back and forth to meet. She ended things as she met someone else and asked how she could have. Wait, what? They met someone else and told him nothing he says or does will change. Oh, sorry. He was saying that nothing he says, she was saying that nothing he says or does will change her mind. When asked how she could have met someone else as they were together, he said they had an I think you meant to say argument, that they are free to meet. Oh, sorry, it was actually an agreement. So it was an agreement that they are free to meet meet others. So an open relationship is what you're saying. This tracks as I noticed he updated his dating profile now, and then over the past year, because we remain matched on the app. This includes figuring out my dating goals. He put figuring out his dating goals on his dating profile. He put figuring out his dating goals on his dating profile, and you said that that's the guy you want. Let me get up and stretch for a second. Let me just get up and stretch for a second. Okay. Wow. All right. He said he's figuring out his dating goals. And you said that this is the guy that you want to build a relationship with. 2 weeks after he moved overseas, he said he didn't realize how much he cared about her until after the breakup. Towards the end of the date, he asked if I had plans for later in the week, and I said no. How are you still here on this date? Chad, am I missing something? How are you still here on the date? He set tentative plans for Sunday, saying he could drive us about 45 minutes away from where I am to get lunch. If I were I would not be going 45 minutes away in a car of a man who's emotionally unstable like this. He just broke up with another girl a week ago, and he hasn't even been getting good sleep. He could be pushing on that metal. You ever seen that meme where someone's pushing on that metal and they're like, I can't believe she did this to me. And he's stepping on that metal and he's going 100 miles an hour. I would not want to be in a car with an emotionally unstable man who just got broken up with and left a week ago. That's like a safety thing. The next day, he sends me a good morning text and asks how I'm feeling. I reply asking him how he slept. He says, really good, thanks to you, and proceeds to ask if I have plans for the next day. I say I'm busy, and he says to have fun. As I felt unsure about dating him due to the recent breakup, that you were unsure? You were on the fence? You didn't know? I left him on red instead of letting him know we can still plan later in the week as he had originally asked for. I'm confused why this is even going on. For the rest of that day and until the night before we were supposed to meet, I did not hear from him. I sent him a photo of the beach I had visited earlier. Why? You just finished saying you don't really think that this is going to work out. That day, and he replies without mentioning the date we were meant to have that day. Who cares? He's doing you a favor. I messaged him, oh yeah, you never got... Stop doing this. Please, all of you, stop doing this. This makes me so mad. Stop doing this. If a guy, forgets your date, it's because his interest in you wasn't that deep that he even cared or bothered to remember the date. Or he did remember and just said, it's that unimportant to me. This makes me so mad. Not only did you message him thinking, oh, when I message you and send you this picture of the beach, you're going to remember that we have a date today. As if... When you message a guy to try to remind him of something he said he would do, like taking you out on a date, or message him to try to get him to talk to you, it never works. Chat, please see this as hard evidence to understand messaging a guy and reminding him of talking to you or of your existence never works. It never works. It never works. It never works. You will never get a man to date you or be serious about you by reminding him that you exist or what he said he was going to do with you. I messaged him, oh yeah, you never got back to me about tomorrow. I haven't even read it. He's going to say something like he's busy, going to make some sort of excuse about work or his life or something that's been going on that's keeping him away from that. He replies asking if we could do dinner instead. Let's see if he actually follows through. I call him and let him know I have an early flight the following day and I would prefer to meet in the afternoon instead, which he agrees to. Let's see if he follows through. During the call, he mentions he's working on his CV and is going to start looking for a job soon in my city. Let's see if he follows through with the date, which is also in the same place where the previous girl lives. As he claims to move back before Christmas, on the date, he asked me if I'm looking for a relationship. I say yes and ask him the same thing. What do you think he's going to reply, Cha? He says he's not looking for a relationship right now, and he's not over the previous girl. Wow. So he was actually honest with you. Let's see what you do with that information, because he's actually done you a favor and made it clear to you he's going to waste your time. He's actually said to you, hey, Rach, I like you, and I think it's amazing that I can be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you spend your time with me, I'm going to waste it. That's what he's telling you. He's like, hey, I'm letting you know right now, I'm going to waste your time. So you're on a date with me looking for something serious. I'm not looking for anything serious. And I still have my mind on the other girl. He's actually doing you a favor. Let's see if you actually respect yourself enough to walk away. He then says he's tired and what did I want to do? I tell him he can go home and he says this might be a bit weird of an ask, but can you keep me company for a bit? Ain't no way. Ain't no effing way. Ain't no effing way you say yes to this. I say yes. And we head to his car. Chat, it's lost. I've lost. I've lost it. We've lost the plot here. I think it's fair to say this. I can't save everyone, and I've lost her. I don't think she's watched enough. I don't think she's studied enough. I think that I just have to accept that I can't save them all, and I will lose some souls to the enemy. I will. I have to keep working hard. I have to keep being diligent, but clearly I will lose some souls, okay? Because I just don't understand. I can't fathom. I have to pace just to work out the energy. I can't really fathom how a guy could tell you, he told you, hey, look, I don't want a relationship with you. I don't really care to build with you. This isn't going anywhere. And the next thing out of his mouth was, do you want to come to my dusty, dingy apartment so that I don't have to lay in my bed and stare at old pictures of me and my ex-girlfriend who left me for a guy with a bigger schlong and more money? And instead of me crying alone in my sad, dusty, dingy apartment on my bed with no bed sheets and pee stains, can you come and keep me company in my nasty apartment with my boxers in the kitchen sink and allow me to cry and hopefully get the opportunity to sleep with you, to distract myself from the fact that I'm so depressed that my women left me for a man with a bigger schlong and more money? And you actually said yes. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. How chat, help me understand. Is this from being down bad? Like, is this from not getting penetrated in a long time or something like that? Is this like being touch deprived? What is this version of being down bad? I can't fathom how you can be this down bad. I don't understand. I really don't. Like, this is so bad. In the car, he's even driving you there. In the car, he rests his head on the divider between the driver and passenger seats, and I start stroking his hair. He says I'm the most caring person he has met in the current city. And I say, well, you haven't met many people. And he says he has met a few, but none of them care the way I do. Is this actually working for you? For context, he shared he hasn't made any new friends since he moved and does a lot of things alone. So you're with a broken-hearted loner with no friends. Great. You got the guy that everyone wished to have. He then says, if I were to stay, he would continue to see me. Do you want to know what that translates to? If you want to waste your time, I'll help you waste your time. That's what he's saying. He's saying, if you want to continue wasting your time, I will help you waste your time. Because I'm looking for someone to keep me company while I get over my breakup. So if you want to waste your time and you don't value it, I won't value it either. And I'll let you waste your time. I'm not going to push you away. I told you guys earlier in the show, guys are opportunists. So if you tell them, hey, I'm willing to get taken advantage of, they'll say, oh, sounds like a bargain deal. Discount price, I'll take advantage of you for free. I tell him I wouldn't continue to see him as I don't want to be with the guy that's still thinking of another girl. So why are you sitting in the car? See, sometimes there can be a disconnect between who you think you are and who you actually are. You're talking as if you have self-respect, but you're talking about how you don't want to be seeing a guy who is thinking about another girl, but you're in his car on the way to his house after the date and after he told you he's not looking for something serious. So who you think you are and who you actually are is two different people. Have to be real with you. He also said that he will contact me when he's back in my city, although he doesn't know when that will be. So basically, we'll see where things go. I tell him he doesn't have to think about the future too much. So basically, you're saying, yeah, waste my time and I'll see where things go too. After the date, he texts me a photo he took of us and says, thanks so much for today. Basically, what he's saying is, thank you for not valuing your own time and wasting it with me. That's what he's thanking you for. I reply a few hours later with, thank you for being honest about not looking for a relationship. You're thanking him and continuing to talk to him. It seems like you need to heal and be on your own a while. I want you. Why didn't you mention what happened? What happened when you got back to his house? You skipped that whole part. What happened? You said, because he asked to go home with you. Thank you for being honest and that you're not looking for relationships. It seems you need to be on your own for a while. I want you to be happy and I hope I'm still here when you're ready. What? Take care of yourself. He responds the next morning with, thank you for being so kind and caring. Yes, I think I need a bit to heal and pick myself up again from the dirt. Please, I need a bit of time. Please take care of yourself too. And we can catch up again in my country in the future. That evening, I heart react to the story. My question is, there's a question here. Is there anything I can do that would increase my odds of him coming back to date when he's ready? I know there isn't a specific timeline for when someone is healed, and who knows, I might be over him or meet someone else by then. For now, I like him and I'm interested to date and get to know him better. This is an update that you gave later. Update, on the first date, he mentioned he would be visiting my city on 4/10. So do you mean like October 4th? For the weekend, as he had originally bought plane tickets, or you mean like next year, April 10th? Is that what you mean? Plane tickets to visit the aforementioned woman. Wait, what? He mentioned he would be visiting my city for the weekend as he had originally bought plane tickets to visit the aforementioned women. Okay. He said he decided to keep the ticket to visit friends and family. And the second date, he said he scheduled a meeting with his previous manager on the Monday to inform her he wants to move back and to let him know if there are any job opportunities come. He did not contact me on this visit and flew back 7/10. So this already happened. On October 4th, he came and then he flew back and he didn't say anything to you. So he probably came, he saw the family and friends, he probably drove by that girl's house and no contact for you. We have not been in contact since October 1st, and we are not connected by any social media platforms. I don't use any. Please let me know if this is a confirmation he's not interested and will not be reaching out. It is a 100,000% confirmation he is not interested. After all that chit chat that he did, after all, like, it never ceases to make me be in pain when you guys end up wasting your time. But it shocks me how when you guys are in it, right, Rach, when you're in it, you can't see how you're wasting your time. You didn't mention what happened after you guys got into the car because the purpose was that you're supposed to go over to his place. So you didn't say what happened after that, if you went to his place or not. But here's the thing. Even just going into the car with him was a waste of your time. Texting him was a waste of your time. Everything you did with him was a waste of your time. Once he told you that he was in a whole nother relationship and it ended a week ago, you should have got up and left. You can't stick around and like be hoping that people will make a change or be ready or blah, 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 blah. You got to move on with your life. And I don't understand why you even stayed for the date or stayed to pet his hair or tell him, like, you should have just moved your life forward. Like, he's not going to be able to give you anything or do anything for you. And it's the irony of everything that you mentioned in your story is that after you gave him all that and you stroked his hair and you tried to, tried to bring him up and you tried to lift his spirits, he couldn't even be bothered to like visit you or even attempt to see you when he came to your city. He didn't even message you. So that tells you, even after you did all that for him, he really doesn't care about you. Okay? He cares about you comforting him so he doesn't have to feel sad about his breakup, but he doesn't care about you. So take that as your clearest sign that he's not interested. So it actually, instead of me answering this question, your question got answered indirectly by him. He's not interested in you. You shouldn't even bother waiting for the possibility of him actually being ready, because even when he is ready, I promise you he won't message you. Not to diss you, not to make you feel bad, but I can assure you, now reading your message all the way through, when he is even ready, 1 year down the line, whenever it is, he will not message you. He will not text you. He'll not do anything with you. I can assure you of that. So what I want you to do is block, delete, and remove his number from your phone. You already said you have him on no social media. Get him off of there. Get him off of WhatsApp, wherever else you have him. Delete your pictures together, whatever. That picture that he sent you, delete that too. Delete your conversations and move forward. That's what you need to do. Move forward. All right, chat. That's the show for today. Let me answer some of these super chats that got sent into the show here. So first we have a super chat which comes from Nicole. She donates $5. She says, I don't think anyone will be mad if you get the vacuum or the Swiffer duster or something to get that spider off the ceiling. Your focus is fire though. Yeah, the spider's still there. I wish I could show you guys a picture, but it's definitely right above my head. So yeah, I thugged that out. Okay, don't ever say I don't do stuff for you. Carla donates $20 in the YouTube chat. She says, thank you for helping the community. I like to see the younger generation become intentional in love. Many blessings to you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Okay, am I the younger generation? I guess I'm technically Gen Z. All right, chat. If you guys have a question for me and you want to send it in, you won't want to wait to get your answer, you can send it into the premium Discord by getting into the link in my description on TikTok, or my link in my bio on TikTok, or the link in my description on YouTube. You can also send in a private question through those same links, okay? For those of you guys who are wanting to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Tomisin_Tub. It's right above my head on the top left corner of the screen. It's also on the top bottom right of the screen. Why are you guys calling me master? Is that a thing now in the chat? Why have people been saying master? Anyways, for those of you guys who are wanting to rewatch the show because you missed parts of it or you came late, my name is just Tomisin Atobatele on YouTube. You can just type in my first name. When you type in Tomisin, you just go into my YouTube channel. You go on the live section, and then when you go into the live section, you'll be able to see this live stream along with all the other live streams since the beginning of the show. Since the beginning of time, sorry. And when you guys do that, you'll be able to have the YouTube and TikTok live chat embedded in the video so you guys don't miss even a second of conversation that's happening. Is that what you guys are? Why are you guys all saying master? Anyways. I'm live every day, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I'll be back again on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until we meet again. Goodbye for now. Hasta la vista. Adios. Sayonara. Ciao. Salam. Arrivederci. Au revoir. Bon voyage. And I'll see you all again tomorrow on Friday. I love you. Okay. It won't be long. We'll be together again very soon. Okay. You guys are all saying master. You guys are funny.